Hey everybody. These sweet graphics. This game truly has it all. Shots of like bullets flying into walls and stuff. Ooh, pedal card. I just realized like there's a fair amount of Decker energy in Max Payne. Oh. What? Oh, good. Huh. Set full screen, creating the device failed. Hold on a second. I dicked around with it before this. Tried the new updates to 14. I haven't. But I have seen the adventurer plates in the subreddit. I'm really excited to make one for my little potato. Catherine of Aragon? That's, I do remember your name. It's been a while. Haven't seen a stream in literal years. Wanted to stop in and toss a few bits. Catharout. All right, well, thanks for dropping by. And thank you for the bits. You can stick around if you want, but you don't have to if you got things to do. What's up, Hans Laggard? What's good? I just ate some food. It was a busy day today. My gosh, I've been up to all sorts of things. I'm still in the middle of laundry. Talked with my mom, did some cooking, did some cleaning, wrote an Inside Games episode. We recorded that. Dealing with other like Inside Games stuff. I commissioned some artwork to revamp our thumbnails, so I got some reference photos together for that. Did some paperwork. I still gotta send an invoice. Forgot about that. I'm supposed to do that today. Haven't done that. So yeah, good day though. Got a lot going. East Coaster wishes the West Coasters would start streaming earlier. Okay, so yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe on the weekends if nothing's going on, or the days that I can stream a bit earlier. So yeah, I can understand why if you're East Coast, this is not a good time for you. But yeah, I had a. Unfortunately, now with Inside Games blowing up, Tuesday and Thursday are kind of dedicated to writing. So those end up being my my later days. I stream later, but it's good to see you regardless. Hope you have a good night. Snack has an update on the broken leg. Apparently I won't receive treatment until Friday, a whole week after the accident. American healthcare in action, baby. Yeah, that happens. That's the fun part about having any kind of condition you're trying to get treated. Is you go to a doctor, they refer you to a specialist. That takes 6 weeks at least. Go to the specialist. They order like a scan of some kind. That takes another 6 weeks. You get scanned. Then like maybe 4 weeks later, you go back to the specialist and talk about the condition again. By then, it's already been like 3 months. So whatever you're feeling has already changed. And then if there's anything to be done after that, any kind of operation or procedure, that's another like 2 months away, maybe a month. So yeah, from starting the process to actually getting any kind of meaningful treatment, it can be like 4.5, 5, 6 months. Good stuff. And each one of those is like multiple hours of going to a doctor's office, filling out a stupid fucking physical photocopied form of the same shit that you've already filled out. You just have to do it every time for some goddamn reason. Anyway, I'm getting worked up. I hate it. I hate it. It's so stupid. It's so time consuming. Bleh. 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 Any good restaurants in LA? Yes. There's a few. Yeah, LA is an amazing dining city. Freedom of choice. No one has freedom of choice if everything costs $3 billion. Also, like, your insurance dictates entirely what you're allowed to do. You can only go to in-network shit. The freedom of choice is that you can pay 20 times the cost of a procedure to get it wherever you want. Freedom of choice is such a fucking joke. American healthcare is such a joke. Anyone who's actually used it knows that. It costs so much more and is so much less efficient. The only people who actually get good care are the people who are independently wealthy. As usual, that is the class that everything in American society is catered towards. You don't have insurance? You're paying out of pocket? Holy fuck. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Liznag. Damn. Well, I guess that means... I guess if you're paying out of pocket, you can go wherever you want. Freedom of your insurance company telling you where you're allowed to go? Yeah. Freedom of your insurance company just deciding they don't want to cover it. They can do that, by the way. That's their freedom to just be like, nah. You know what? Not feeling it. I don't think, like, your insurance company can straight up go like, eh. And that's it. You're fucked. What did you pay for? You paid for the department that decided to say, eh. Imagine that. The gall of paying a private company for 2 years so they can be like, doesn't seem like it. Bleh. Anyway, going to sleep. My sister had brain cancer and needed surgery literally to save her life, and even that was a nightmare. I hate it. Michael said in GTA 5, go to college and you can rip people off. That way it's called capitalism. Such a good line. Yeah. Yep. It's capitalism, baby. Mr. Grimm, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Is that a Twisted Metal reference? Spicy stream right off the top. I am pretty passionate about healthcare because I have had to use it, and people that I care about have had to use it. And I haven't perceived a single one of the positives that, I don't know. It sucks because it's tied up in the same systems that keep a lot of American society pretty regressive. Conservatism, basically. This weird philosophical dedication to free markets. And it's like the data is so obvious. It's just con men convincing the pudding-brained in America to vote certain ways. Whatever. Okay. All right. Whatever. Max Payne time. None of this matters in Max Payne universe. It's just slow motion bullets. And it'll never change because both political parties are in bed with private insurance companies. Sort of. There have been. I mean, there is one party that's far more favorable to universal health care, and there's one party that has passed meaningful healthcare reform. I agree that, like, in politics, money talks, regardless of political alignment, but there's a pretty clear track record there. Anyway, broke my boner and it cost me $10K to get it fixed. Jeez, that's a lot of boner bucks. Got to get it back though. Got to get it back. If you're sick, you better be rich to care for your health. Yeah. You better be rich and have a lot of time, because it's so time consuming. Man. The time aspect I'm not convinced is like an intentional punishment to the poor, but it's certainly not a consideration at all of people that have to work for a living. Mr. Losey, thanks for the prime. Did they take payment per inch? Hey! The Max Payne universe, there are opiates in every medicine cabinet and they cure everything. That's their healthcare plan. That's right. You're absolutely correct. Murder solves everything. Think you'll play Overwatch 2 when it comes out. If there's interesting single-player content, but if it's just multiplayer, probably not. Probably not. I'd have to see something really interesting in the multiplayer. I'll check it out. I'll look. Like, I'm not above looking. Looking still free, baby. Oh, shit! Well, that did not work. Is Overwatch 2 going to be free? Part of it. It actually got kind of messy, or the division of content in Overwatch 2 got a little messy, because like the original deal was that the multiplayer content would be given out to Overwatch players to not split the audience and all that stuff. The PvE content would cost money. So essentially, like, the boxed portion of Overwatch 2 is the single player content, whereas all the multiplayer content, the modes and characters and stuff would be distributed so that people could play them. Now, problem is, I'm pretty sure they changed the timeline so that they delayed the single player content. They're launching it as part of the Overwatch League, which is also, I think, a pretty rough way to launch. I guess you probably want pros to show. I don't know. I'm convinced that move is also like just a get, like an interdepartmental get. They hired a bunch of esports douches to run the esports side of it. I shouldn't say that. I'm using that term generically. There were a bunch of douches flooded into esports when there was money there. A lot of them have moved on to crypto. It's just like that kind of like Fucking hustle douche. Anyway, they were in esports for a while. Blizzard hired some of them to run. MLG was starting to be filled with them. But anyway, I digress. I don't know this, but it's my suspicion, just based off personality types, that they just argued. They argued and insisted to have Overwatch 2 debut in the Overwatch League so that they could get viewership. Yeah, Sigma male hustlers, exactly. Pros are going to get screwed by that? Yeah, they are. The game's going to get screwed by it. Overwatch League is going to get... Well, Overwatch League is the only one that's not going to get screwed by it, but they're already screwed. I think they've already lost most of their sponsors. So, yeah, they still have no sponsors because of all the BS execs have been up to the past few months. Yeah. So, it was a get that like the positive of it has been completely removed and all the negatives remain. Which is that the pros get fucked, the game gets chopped up, the value proposition of the game gets really confused. Ooh, the BG raid. I gotta get in these Mario Kart games one of these days. I've been watching the Mario Kart streams. They're lighting me up a little bit. Anyway, thanks for the raid. I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here grumbling at people that are way more rich than I'll ever be. I guess it's better than yelling about healthcare. At least this is light and fluffy. But Overwatch League moving to YouTube really screwed them. Did it? I can see that being another get. Wiz and the esports executives at Blizzard went to a strip club and figured out a deal in the bathroom in between lines of cocaine. I don't know. I'll just say that. Wiz is in crypto now, so whatever. And your wife work for Blizzard? Domestic partner, but yes. Yes. She worked on Diablo. She now works for CD Projekt. If you want to hear more spicy takes.
Another newspaper caption for a murder scene.
Guess what? Here's a spicy take. Cyberpunk is awesome.
Frankie had left his calling card, a Captain Baseball Bat Boy strip, next to a sewer passage filled with bodies.
You'd better not mess with Captain Baseball Bat Boy. Even my arch enemy, Bicycle Helmet Girl, swoons at the sight of me. Aha!
There were enough corpses to put a mass murderer to shame.
Yeah. Max Payne rocks. Yeah, something. When the fuck is that mobile Diablo game coming out? Great question. That's a great question. Diablo Immortal? The mobile Diablo that was playable at BlizzCon 2018, I think? Had a full playable demo with multiple classes. Diablo Immortal. Still not out. Mobile game! 4 years later from a playable demo. That's more time than studios take to launch AAA games. And Blizzard can't get it out. I don't know. I'm sure that there are plenty of people that work at Blizzard that are still dedicated to their jobs and care a lot. But I don't know. Developers have to ship games or make something. I feel like it's I feel like there's a type of thing that happens when companies get successful. When they start earning passive revenue or a lot of like reoccurring revenue. They start spinning up projects that never finish because no one wants to. No one wants to do the work anymore, and if they don't have to, why would you? It was one of the most humiliated titles in gaming history. Maybe that made them pause it? Pause it? Nobody pauses a game that's in development because like a reveal went wrong. Like, the practicality of that is like, well, people got mad at the trailer, so we just told 100 people to stop working. On a mobile game? Nah. Also, like, who cares? Who cares? If everyone at BlizzCon didn't play Diablo Immortal, nothing would change. That's not what Diablo Immortal's for. It's not for the Blizzard hardcore. I mean, those people got put to work on other stuff, but yeah, you're right. I mean, that is such, like, that doesn't happen overnight. Wasn't that game being developed by NetEase and not at Blizzard? Well, it was a co-development, but nobody was ever explicit about what the actual separation of responsibilities was. There was actually one quote from an executive at NetEase during one of their investor calls. One of the investors was like, "What's the deal with Diablo Immortal?" And there was an executive at NetEase that was straight up like, "You got to ask Blizzard because we're good. Like we don't know." Like that was kind of their answer, and I was like, "Wow." I'm actually kind of surprised that they sort of soft threw Blizzard under the bus like that. I don't know. I think for a long time there were a lot of people at Blizzard who just... I have a theory. This is full theory territory. But I think there's a lot of just dudes who work themselves into privileged positions. Oh, dang. I did not save at all. There's a lot of developers, I think, that work themselves into privileged positions. They get put on, like... design, and then they go into a room with a whiteboard in it, and all they do is just sort of jam on ideas. That's it. And people can do that for years, especially if there's, again, no pressing need to like earn money or ship a title. I mean, Blizzard also talked about in one of their investor calls how they had to cancel. They finally canceled a lot of like in development titles. It was really small, but I was like, okay, good. They're finally cleaning that shit out. They're gonna start shipping stuff again, but it's gonna take like maybe two years or 3 years from now, depending on how much time and money was wasted on developers just hanging out. It's fun to build tech and be idea people. No one wants to do the hard work of shipping and closing a product out. Yeah, and I don't really like fault anyone for that because I don't want to do that. That's really hard work and really stressful. Yeah, when you can just like sit in a room, just sort of like, what if Warcraft was a board game? I mean, I'll make it more personal. There's tons of people in entertainment, and at least in personal in the sense that like it's something that I feel qualified to speak about. Tons of people want that in entertainment. Even I'm trying to think of how specific to make this. I definitely ran across many people, even a lot that I worked with directly, who angled all the time on making their job only ideas. Gonna crash? Alright, Brian. Crash away. Sleep well. Rest easy on a pile of Mario Kart victories. Yeah, that shit is exhausting. Because as soon as one person's allowed to do it, everybody wants to do it. It's one of those things. Did announce that new survival game a while ago. Yeah, the untitled, undescribed survival game. I don't know. To me, that was we have to say we're doing this. Like that was like we need to hire people, and the sooner we say we're doing this, the harder it'll be for new management to squash it. That was what that move said to me. There wasn't even key art. It wasn't anything. It was just it's a survival game. So, who knows? Hopefully that becomes a game at some point. But I also tend to think, and this is my cynicism at play, I think, but in larger companies like that, announcements of that nature are rarely done because they want users to get excited about a game that's about to come out. Idea and yes men are the bane of my existence, up there with sales. Sales, yeah, sales are a necessary evil. Once you understand... it took me a while to understand that salesmen are never not salesmen. And they're like talking to you.
Another newspaper caption for a murder scene.
You'd like to think that you're on the same team, right? So they wouldn't talk to you and use the techniques on you that they use on other people. But that's just who they are. Maybe I'm being, again, overly cynical. But once I realized that salesmen are always selling and not to trust anything they say as like genuine words, then my relationship with salespeople got a lot better. Hey, what's up, Jet Cougar? What different phrases have you heard that just meant I'm an idea person? Ah, Bill, I can think of one specifically. I can think of a very specific series of conversations I had where somebody told me what they wanted their role to be. And when I said, it sounds like you want to be an idea person, they said over and over again, I want to be creatively involved. I just want to be creatively involved. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? That's the one that will always ring in my ears, I think. Hold on a second. My manager, who I don't like, by the way, recently explained to me, he is the way he is because he's just part of playing the game. He also recently failed upwards. Well, then he's playing the game correctly for where he is. Yeah, it sucks when people don't even critically think about what they're doing and why. They just think that any, like, external metric of advancement is worth pursuing. I want to blow lightly on the spirituality of the project. Yeah, it's just straight up idea people. Some people work themselves into positions of like being the person who they insert themselves into this decision-making process, and then they make their only contribution a yes/no, or like notes on something. That shit I can't stand. It kills stuff. Straight up kills things. God. As a salesperson, I can't say we are always selling, but most of us don't do it on purpose. We just get used to saying and doing things a certain way, and we just naturally do it. Sales is constantly trained and pushed to work, so we don't have much of a choice but to be that way. It annoys us as much as it annoys everyone else. Interesting, Strider. Yeah, I did mention it, and I hope it didn't come off as just like a false acknowledgement. But yeah, I was kind of like, well, that's just the way I say they. I hate to refer to it so derogatorily, but people in sales, they get into a mode, and it took me a while to realize that. And it doesn't make them bad people. It just means they're in a certain mode. They communicate a certain way. I don't want to seem overly defensive either. Ugh. I don't think I got anyone. No one screamed. Ugh! What the heck? I can't tell why sometimes I'll bring up the weapon select and then click and nothing will happen. I don't know. Shit. Anyway, I've been getting real spicy. A lot of spice right off the top here. Apologies if I'm coming off as a little hot. I'm usually a little more mellow than this. I'm all amped up. My Oak, thanks for gifting a sub. Is there a trick to not being a yes, no, or critical person in the process? Man. Also realize I think I've always called you Moradin Gaiden, and that's not fair. Moradin Gaiden. That's real tricky. That's real tricky. I don't think there's I've thought a lot about this. Because people like it when you say yes to their things. People like it when you feed them praise, obviously. And people absolutely don't like it when you critique everything. There's got to be a middle ground. If you keep it real all the time and always try to objectively point out ways that you think could improve, that can come across as negative. And people can just stop listening to you. If they get tired of hearing it. Even if you're right. Doesn't matter. If people are spiteful enough, they will be wrong and destroy the thing they're making just because they don't like you. These are some of the weird things that I've seen in human behavior. Just how completely self-emotional and spiteful people can be. So if you want to work in a group and you want to develop your role, become more vital, and earn more money, it does require sort of staying between extremes and even reading the situation on a day-to-day basis and doing what's best at that time. It's a... This is a huge non-answer, because I'm basically saying, like, it depends. But to do things right, you really do have to weigh all of those societal factors. Hell, I'm not a... I wouldn't say that I'm, in any stretch, or in any sense of the word, skilled at diplomacy or, like, social dynamics or anything. I think I'm still... I think merely the fact that I know that I'm bad at it is the best thing I've got going for me. Damn it, Max. People want to hear what they want to hear. If you tell them what they don't want to hear, it will upset them. Hell, I'm not allowed to ask a person to put their stupid phone number into the machine when they start yelling at me because telling them to do otherwise is rude. You just have to sit there and wait for them to figure it out? Ugh. Was the dumbest thing I did as a teenager. Ooh, Endy, hey, thank you for gifting 10 subs. Holy cow, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. That's gonna make what I say next a little painful, because I'm about to talk about something I did as a teenager. Let's see here. A dumb thing. Oh, I did so many dumb things. I'm gonna have to think about how to separate this. Like, what's a dumb thing versus this thing I regret most, you know? Let me think of something. Let me think of dumb fun. Okay, this is pretty dumb, but... Yeah, this is pretty dumb. All right, I was trying to think of where to go with it. All right, so when I was a teenager, the only car I had, and in retrospect, I'm pretty glad about this because I did like this car quite a bit. It had charisma. Anyway, it was a 1979 Type 2 Volkswagen Shit! It's gonna use up all my whatever. Hold on. Yeah, one of these guys. Except my dad spray painted it white for some reason. Anyway, it's a hideous car. It's the worst thing. Actually, this is the thing that they allowed me to plug on Inside Gaming. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That was a long time ago, but when my ex-wife left me, I had to sell the car to be able to drive. Fuck, same guy. To be able to drive to LA by myself. Anyway, it's a nightmare of a car. It's beautiful, but it's a nightmare of a car because the engineering of it is just whack as shit. It is a front-wheel drive, rear-engine car. Front-wheel drive, rear-engine, rear-powered car, basically. So only the wheels in the back are what get power, is what I'm saying. But you steer via the front. It might be the least secure layout of any vehicle. How does that work? Well, the engine and the engine and the transmission are in the back. The wheels are in the front. So at least the drivetrain doesn't have to cross the whole car. But that also means that when you use your stick shift, there's like actually a lever that has to travel the entire length of the car to push the gears around. It sucks. Rear engine, rear wheel drive. Yes, you're absolutely right, Violator. I was getting twisted up about it. Yeah, the RR layout is almost never used because it's terrible. As a vehicle, it's just tall and flat, so it catches a lot of wind at the front. It's very inefficient that way. Catches a lot of wind at the side. It doesn't have air conditioning. It has vents and windows, which is great in Texas. It does have a heater. Sort of. The way that it heats the interior is there's just a blower that cycles air from the engine compartment into the cabin of the car. In a common sense way, how does that work? That's a stupid idea for a car. Take it up with Volkswagen. Circa 5 decades ago. Yeah. Half century ago. No, 4. Never mind. Anyway, German engineering, always on point. Alright, so... I think this game, or sorry, I think this car, I was staring at a game. I think this car assumes that your engine will always run 100% efficiently or something. I mean, there's a lot of warmth next to the engine for sure. Yeah, they are air-cooled. No, that's true. Which has its own host of problems, by the way. But they're air-cooled vehicles, which I guess mean... And mine was fuel-injected, so there was no carburetor, I guess. Even though the electrics in that car were also trash garbage. Alright, so the heater, yeah, vented... Basically, when I don't know if there was ever a time when it operated normally, but it did vent exhaust into the car. I didn't really think or know about that. There was a time when it dawned on me, and I tried to I basically wrapped the hoses in tape to try to make them airtight, but it also got really bitterly cold in Texas. So there were times I would have to drive an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours through just pitch black Texas rural roads with no streetlights. And it would and the car was not airproof either. So either I would be driving and then wind would be whistling through this thing as it's going down the road at, 50, 60 miles an hour. And it would get so bitterly cold in there and loud, that my options were to either sit there with just icy wind cutting through my skin or turn the heater on. And it gets kind of nice. It also gets really relaxing. And I get a little bit of a headache for some reason. So I have to... There was one drive where I was driving for a while, and at this point I was starting to come around to the idea that there were fumes in the heat. But I basically alternated. I would turn on the heater because I was shivering and my hands were going numb. I would turn on the heater and it would be nice, and then I'd start to get sleepy. And once I start to get sleepy, then I would turn the heater off. And I would have to alternate, and I would shock away because it would be really cold. So basically I would alternate between being cold and shivering and numb, and then, borderline maybe falling asleep at the wheel because the engine fumes were being directed up into the cabin of the car. So yeah, I was basically bouncing in between gassing myself and getting frostbite, I guess. But I made it. Everything's fine. Mine's still as sharp as a steel sharp. Actually, I'm gonna... Got some messages I gotta check. What is this all about? So yeah, that's a pretty dumb thing I did as a teenager. Chronologist, thanks for the prime. You're now in sunny Cali, don't gotta worry about heaters. Oh, Xander. Oh, Xander, how wrong you are. Believe it or not, now that I'm on a motorcycle, it can get down to 40, 30 degrees at night. There have been a couple of nighttime rides in Cali that have been extremely cold. Like having to sort of mind over matter myself into not caring about how outrageously cold I was. Oh, baby. Love that sound of getting multiple painkillers. Can we see the motorcycle? That is going to be a challenge. Just Google it. Oh, yeah. It is a Zero SR. Z-E-R-O, like the number but spelled out, and then S-R. I think a 2019 model? Really Yank, thank you for the cheer. Hope you play Max Payne 2 after this. I'm kind of thinking about it. I can't bring up the overlay where it'll turn on bullet time, and I can't waste any bullet time. So you see the predicament I'm in. I could pull it up on my phone, but the dope motorcycle. I like it a lot. I love that vehicle. I've loved most of the vehicles I've had. I love that 79 Transporter. I think about it sometimes. I got a 2009 Golf GTI, I really, really loved that car too. And a manual, so fun to drive. And what a contrast to the 79 Volkswagen. Like, the GTI was locked to the ground. Oh, it felt so good to, like, get through a corner, hit the gas at just the right time. And then I totaled it, though. Got in a crash in LA. Took my car from me. It was my fault? Yeah, it was my fault. But no one was hurt, so that's fine.
Things were fast going from bad to worse.
Darn it, I think I have to do laundry. But the SR is really, really delightful. It's a wonderful tool in Los Angeles,
The men
too.
in blue had come and gone. They had decorated the place with chalk outlines and tied it together with yellow tape. The cops who had stayed behind were dead. Frankie, his boys, and I had the place all for ourselves.
I drive exclusively manuals, harder to find these days. Yeah, they're getting outdated. They're fun, but they're outdated. I mean, if you like manuals, get it. Shouldn't recommend you get a motorcycle because they are fundamentally unsafe vehicles. But motorcycles are manual. Ironically, mine is not, because it's electric. It's just one battery and a twist and go, and that's it.
Forget about it. Just forget about it.
Forget about
Forget
it.
about it.
His phone call is straight saying,
What you should have
forget about it
heard?
3
She was on the
times.
Screen when the boys caught her trying to cap the Don. Oh, that's friggin' bad. To the trio? That's even worse than what Frankie's doing to that poor bastard downstairs. She's gonna take a long time to die.
The mobster muscle on the phone was talking about Mona. Punchinello's trio were nothing but bad news.
I have not seen Sonic 2 yet. And I think some people have talked about the movie. I haven't seen it, actually. And from the sounds of it, there's just not much to say. Bruce talked about it a little bit with me. He said it was boring, like nothing happened. There's no action. Shit. Might like the new GR Corolla if you want the safety of a car again. I suppose. I don't know what that is. I don't really follow cars. But I am looking forward to Sonic 2 for good things. I want to see Sonic 2. I want to see Ambulance. I need to see everything everywhere all at once. Oh, jeez. Plenty of action. Sonic fights like 4 times, maybe 5 total. Oh, I meant no action in Max Payne. Also, yeah, I like the 10 out of 10 pants model. I can see from there. You think he's gonna stand up? Wait, what's he reading? Max Heat? Looks good. Sexy. Oh yeah, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Northman. There are so many good movies out right now. And somehow out of all of those, the one that I've seen is Morbius.
Hey!
More evidence that Punchinello.
No!
What the?
Did not expect him to... What? Like, why does that keep happening? Like, let's see here. I don't get it. Sometimes, wait. Oh, it kind of did it then.
More evidence that Punchinello didn't like me much.
The fact remains that all the victims so far identified in the Ragnarok shooting have been known criminals, many of whom had large doses of V in their blood. Reliable sources say that Max Payne was also among those killed, although no body has been recovered at this time.
Reliable sources. That meant somebody thought the Mafia had me, didn't want the cops snooping around anymore. The body would be delivered to them barely recognizable. Case closed. Don Punchinello had the power to be that reliable source, which was no news. But his news was old news.
Hey, what's up, Lil J?
Framing me hadn't been enough. Don Punchinello had put a hit on me. He wanted me dead, and it had been important enough for him to give written instructions to Frankie about it.
Max Payne should die like a dog for the trouble he's caused. Frankie, I know I can trust you to give this matter the dedication it needs.
Huh. Appreciate the instant loads on death, but the minutes-long loading times for initial level loads? Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. I mean, I have installed some texture packs and things like that. I remember the game loaded pretty fast originally. It was one of the things that really... That was actually one of the aspects that I remember really was like, wow, this game has something going on. Is that there were some technicals about it that were really solid. I remember it ran really well, and yeah, I think it loaded really fast. Which was important for a game like this, because you actually end up dying a lot again. Again, it shockingly has a very Hotline Miami kind of feel. Completely forgot you returned to the bar in this game. Yeah, I forgot to provide a plot recap, but no one's really asked, so it probably doesn't matter. Bernayer, I saw your message. A few nights ago, I watched this German film called Angst. Kind of a one-shot film of a killer being released from prison and immediately committing murder again. He initially pleaded with his jailers not to let him out, or he'd be back in less than a day. They just laughed. The movie follows him as he makes good on it. It's pretty anxiety-inducing. That's a really cool concept. What?
The hotel bar was fast developing quite a history.
Is that on a service?
With his words, Frankie was there, having a beer.
Jesus Christ. How the hell did you get loose?
Got bored waiting. Thought, what the hell, we could just as well finish this here.
Shit. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, that wasn't good. Remember playing this as a kid, probably too young? Yeah, it's interesting to hear the amount of people who talk about playing this game when pretty young. A lot of people who've talked about playing it with their parents, which is really cool. I don't know. This game has some adult stuff in it, but it's not adult in tone. That's one of the things that I really like about it. I always really appreciated that this game understood how dumb most video games are. And it actually, like, it leaned into it and didn't pretend not to be, I guess? The stereotypes are all ridiculous. Like, Max Payne as a character is just absurd. His name is Max Payne. It is, I was thinking about this. It is like almost Duke Nukem level.
Thank you. You've been a lovely audience.
It definitely exists aware of itself. Sometimes even literally. There's some fourth wall breaking in here too.
I spotted the tail as soon as I left the hotel. A big black Mercedes.
He has video game powers.
I'd seen the car before.
They even express themselves in the comic book portion of the game. That's just part of the universe.
Vladimir was back.
Bang. You're dead, Max Payne.
Oh,
I'd
Russia.
have laughed if I remembered how. What's this supposed to be?
Yeah, I'm pretty hard into the remake hike.
Look, you want something with
Remake
Get in
hype,
line.
Jim B.
Peace, man. Relax. You know you are a real news item, armed and dangerous. I am going to make you an offer you can't refuse. I've always wanted to say that.
It's a bum rap. I've been framed.
That's a moot point. Whatever you did or did not do, I'm sure you had good reason for doing it. Want to hear me out?
I'm listening.
Now we get to go to the docks. Which is better, Detective Max Payne or Vice President Richard Hawke? See, that's weird because Metal Wolf Chaos doesn't really keep that tone going. I mean, it kind of does, but it's there, and then the cutscenes just kind of stop.
Messing with V is bad for business all around, but that's not all.
It'd be like if
Boris Stein.
the codec conversations just kind of stopped, like an hour into Metal Gear Solid or something.
Now the bastard turncoat
It could be that
to the
cool.
other side, Punchinello's. The ship's loaded with high-res hardware, guns, my business. If Punchinello gets hold of that cargo, he's won and I have lost. And
Then again, I have to be honest. I've never finished Metal Wolf Chaos. I always get bored.
if you want to get to Punchinello, you'll need heavy-duty.
Call me Stacks. Thanks for the sub.
I am just the man to get them for you. Change the ship back under my flag, maybe pop 2 in the traitor Dime's head while you're at it. You'll get enough guns to start the apocalypse. You in or out?
Let's get this show on the road. Vladimir was one of those old-time bad guys with honor and morals, which made him almost one of the good guys. None of us was a saint.
How was this even the same franchise compared to Max Payne 3?
Containers, sharp bone cranes looming up from the snowstorm.
There's some elements that are still there.
On a night like this,
The gameplay is still super similar, I
army of
think.
dead men sleeping with the fishes, cement shoes in line. No Minotaur lurked in this labyrinth, but somewhere out there, on the clanking deck of his cargo freighter, the skipper of the Chiron was waiting.
Are you remarking about how different they
The
seem?
river Styx.
I would say that, like, the self-aware jokiness of the games has decreased as the series goes on. But it kind of gets replaced with a different kind of self-awareness, I think. Like, Max Payne 3 is super amazing. Has some pretty goofy monologue lines that are said completely seriously. Yeah, the writing is still there, which I think is to Rockstar Games' credit. I mean, Rockstar Games is amazing. Incredible. One of the best developers that's ever existed. Pretty comfortable saying that. So yeah, the writing is there. The like monotone, the self-serious delivery, it has like a Die Hard kind of feeling to it. In the sense that it almost knows that it's a dumb action game. It is an action game universe. Die Hard is in like an action movie universe kind of. Bruce Willis always has that smirk. He kind of knows what he's in for, and he knows that we're along for the ride kind of deal. Anyway, tonally it is a bit of a shift, but I think there are a lot of elements that are the same. Max's character, I think, and the seriousness that they portray him is probably the thing that shifts quite a bit. In 1, he is a living parody of a noir lead. And 2, he is a noir lead. Like, it's a bit different. They shift him from being, like, just a bundle of stereotypes to trying to make him a character, even though the character is that archetype completely. And then in 3, they actually, I don't know if humanize is the word, but they give him some very realistically depicted flaws. Like, the way they depict his alcoholism in 3, and, like, his hangovers and how that like puts a visual effect over the game, and that is also tied into the style of the game. It's super cool, but like making him a recovering alcoholic, or I guess a alcoholic in 3 it's like that's pretty deep in there. But in all cases, it's like a man with nothing to lose. In 3's Denzel Washington. Yeah, it's got similarities to Man on Fire with the way that it splashes text on screen. And they're both, like, Rampage movies. Yeah, Bald Max is pretty great. The cutscenes with him are so good. Max Payne 3 is just so good. I wanna, maybe if the remakes sell okay. Like, I wonder what would happen if they just sell okay. Like, maybe they make their money back and that's it. I wonder if it's something that people would continue to do, or if it's just sunk. It is kind of interesting to think about a, like, maybe Remedy remaking 3. That'd be cool. Or maybe just giving the, like, ray tracing pass to 3. Releasing some kind of, like, modern gen special edition. Max in 3 went through every hair look. He went from full hair without beard, then full with beard, and finally to no hair, full beard. Yeah. I thought it was cool that they did the the flashback levels in 3, where you get to kind of see a more modern version of young Max, younger Max, Max Payne 2 Max. I'm also okay with Max Payne as a series being more like variations on a theme. You know how you can have like multiple people play Bond? I guess the closest that's been is Sam Fisher. He had multiple different appearances and even personality types across Splinter Cell games, just to kind of... Like, Splinter Cell just became a loose synonym with, like, high-paced political thriller. Splinter Cell ruled? Well, that was so many things. Some of them ruled. Actually, you know what? No, most of them ruled in their own way. I don't know, Double Agent was the one where I kind of fell off. Although, no wait, I played Conviction. I played some of the more actiony ones, the mark and execute ones. Where the fuck am I going? What am I doing? You play El Matador. No. I have not. Max Payne 3 is still basically a modern game with mandatory online for single player and everything. Yeah. They tried. God bless them, they tried. Max Payne 3 was the first time, I think was the first game where I was like, okay, it is possible to make an extremely good game that just doesn't sell. Like, people just look at it and they say, nah. Because, like, I thought the campaign was awesome and pretty long. It had good multiplayer. I had some good times. I guess I get why the multiplayer didn't hit. But it was still cool. It's like the best you could do. Shoot dodge at people. It was fun to see other people flip-flopping all over the place. But yeah, when Max Payne 3 didn't sell, and Rockstar was done with it, I was just like, ah. That was when video games became business to me. I was like, okay. I was disappointed, but I couldn't be mad. Throwing a grenade there? Yeah, Tech. You know what? I'm gonna remember this. Max Payne 3 might be one of the most underrated games. Max Payne 3 ended the story. You know what? I don't remember. I think video games became a business to me with the original launch of Diablo 3. Just the fact that, like, because the servers were down, you couldn't play? Or was it the auction house? That dude did a sick roll. I thought, I'm still surprised at how people reacted to the auction house. I don't know that I was necessarily into it. I didn't super care. But I thought more people would be into the idea of getting like a rare drop and being able to sell it for 20 bucks or something. Max Payne 3 ends in the most positive way for Max, so to have a sequel to that would just feel unfair to him. Oh, okay, so they actually teed Max up for a happy ending. I actually don't remember how 3 ends. I've been thinking about playing it again. I probably will, because I'm playing this right now, so that's a pretty strong sign. Not to mention, Max Payne 3 is in Brazil. Some of the characters talk Spanish. Oh, funny because it wasn't Portuguese? Didn't also 2 end with a happy ending? Not really. Go! Maybe? Maybe related to Mona? I'm not quite sure. The happy ending is that, like... The happy ending in the trail of Max is that he kills the person he's supposed to kill. He gets his revenge. And then he, like, can let go. His reason for existing is a revenant and an agent of... His rampage is concluded. And then he can rest. Which I guess involves being captured. That's right, at the end of 1. Yeah. At the end of 1, the, like, G-Man dude shows up and, like, basically busts him out or something. Remember some of the thugs talk Portuguese and they talk a lot of funny stuff? Okay. I thought about that aspect of it. Yeah, that was what, 2013? Even a developer as progressive as Rockstar, I guess progressive might not be the right word. Even a developer with the attention to detail as Rockstar probably didn't sweat being 100% accurate about that stuff in 2013. Now it would probably be a different story, which is really interesting. And of when you blackmail Wood and drop all the charges they have against you. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay, yeah, it's coming back to me. The fact that the plot even goes there. It actually starts with some just straight up, like, street gang drama. Straight up starts with street gang drama and ends up with you blackmailing, like, the deep state. I never thought about it like that, but that is so great. There's never, I guess it's because the plot like escalates in these somewhat appreciable jumps, so you never really realize how far it goes and where it starts. I don't know. I gotta pay more attention here. This ain't no modern game. You gotta look for buttons. Okay, I gotta use this thing. Basically the Illuminati, yeah. See, 2 is not that absurd, as I recall. 2 tries to play it a little more on planet Earth, a little bit. Tries to like lean more into the tragedy and the noir of it. 2 is pretty odd. I'm interested to go back to 2. I remember even when I played it, thinking like, it's not as goofy as 1, which kind of makes it a little less special. Didn't feel like people were having as much fun. Really enjoyed Death Stranding on PC. Thanks for the exposure. Well, hey, thank you for picking it up and supporting a sponsor. Oh yeah. What? Oh, I shot him so many times. Oh, I don't know when I saved though. Oh. As the Funhouse stuff, that's pretty goofy. And you know what? I remember that. Like, I remember that because it was almost like I thought that was almost a like a commentary on game design at that time, because people loved the haunted house games, and that's what Max Payne is, you know, scripted hallways. So I thought that was actually the game being really fun and self-aware. There's a level in BioShock 2 kind of like that as well, where you're like on a museum dark ride. Learning about communism or whatever. There's like Vinny Gognitti getting stuck in a baseball bat boy costume. So there's wacky stuff that happens, but it's much less like Sam Lake looking and winking at the camera, which is what Max Payne 1 feels like. I don't remember the lines being quite as... Like, the lines in 1 and 3 are golden. I remember there's just some amazing lines in 3. I don't remember the one-liners dropping with such a, like, wet thud in 2. 2 seemed like it reeled certain things in. To try to like, it was... I can't tell the vibe it was going for, actually. But then again, this is all based off of deep memory. Deep memory. There's way more TV shows. There's like multiple episodes of Lords and Ladies. Dick Justice. Oh, Mike the Russian Cowboy. Yeah. There's some characters. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. I keep forgetting. I'm on fire. Once autosaved like half second before getting sniped with minimal health. It was a doozy to get out of that one. That's some like, yeah, that's some real live die repeat shit. You accidentally drop a spicy quick save. reminds me, wouldn't it be cool if they brought back Three's Company, but instead of one guy and two dumb hot girls, it's one girl and two dumb hot guys? Maybe. I think merely inverting the genders is still not the 2022 thinking that audiences want to see. I would say 3 people who like, how can you make a smart and sexy sitcom about gender identity but not about gender identity? How can you do it in a way that doesn't trivialize the idea and make it a joke? You make the guys a couple? Yeah. I don't know if that's enough to carry a show, though. I guess it was enough for Three's Company, whatever. Yeah, we need hot dudes that giggle and slap each other. Actually, Righteous Gemstones has a couple that's kind of like that, and it's delightful. Schitt's Creek, yeah. I think even the modern run of One Day at a Time had a lot of those good aspects in it. I just meant more like, is there any way that like a show concept like Three's Company that is so related to gender and like a particular kind of sexuality, cloaked but there, is that even a thing anymore? I think that's just too quaint. Quick save, thank you. Thank you. Anyway, Keith is a delightful character. Maybe one of the best himbos. Although that's kind of an unfair... It's not like that. It's more like the like chunk with a heart of gold, you know? Your Ticks, your Patrick Warburtons, your Kronks. It's really just Patrick Warburton, living example of it. I guess your Buzz Lightyears maybe. He's a little dense in the first movie in an adorable way. Lucky. Goofy Lapdog. Yeah, yes. With an unerring social, like always an unerring moral compass. Just knows exactly what the right thing to do is, and can be confused, but like as soon as they figure it out, dedicated 100% to whatever they're doing. Buzz is himbo enough. Yeah, I never really thought about it until I saw people react to the like renders of him in the spin-off show. There was a particular male thirst for Buzz that I was not aware of, but once I thought about it, I was like, actually, yeah, okay, makes sense. Got it. That clocks. Never thought about it. Makes sense now. Take that down. Oh, tough. I mean, again, I think even that's a bit dated. I think a show whose message is it's okay for women to have sex, that happened a long time ago already. So that's what I mean. And saying that I think even that idea is a bit... It was what, Sex in the City? It just says it right there. That was, God, 25 years ago? Wasn't the point of Three's Company is that he's older than them, so it would be inappropriate to have relations with the potentially underage girls. Never seen the show. I've never seen a full episode, so, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just assumed that they were roommates, but not in a relationship, and the implication of the show is that, you know, awesome FFM sex could happen at any time. I think it's like a variety of just like schlubby dad, hot wife thing, except there's 2 hot chicks. He had to lie about being gay to the landlord or something so he could stay in the apartment. Oh, okay, all right. So he has to pretend that he's not into anything. He can't do anything. Otherwise, the jig will be up. I don't know. we talking about Three's Company? I think so. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. People are gonna figure it out. Yeah, John Ritter. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, Barney from Andy Griffith. Yes, Don Knotts. Pinnacle of sexuality, Don Knotts. Yeah. It's pretty clear who's meant to be the avatar for the audience there. Landlord was like, no single women live with a single man, but if he's gay, that's okay. Okay, alright. So yes, we the audience get to see John Ritter be comically unaroused by hot ladies. Ugh, everyone knows the first thing that happens when a hot lady meets a homosexual man. Demand that he grab her boobs. And it's every single episode we see John Ritter get in there. Dispassionately, stoically. Was that the first live-action harem anime? I mean, no, it can't be, but let me think about this. There were, like, moral standards and stuff that had to reinforce certain things. Mormonism beat you to it. Yeah. There's certainly been living arrangements. I'm trying to think of in terms of entertainment. I guess people got laid all over the place in, like, myth. Those are the two oldest indicators. The Bible and anime. Man, what the shit? Maybe I gotta stop running or something. Wait for him to get closer, maybe? It's an interesting question, though. Justin, thank you for the cheer. Yeah, I mean, even as a kid, like I was a kid, I grew up in the church, right? So I grew up pretty naive and pretty sheltered, I think. Yeah, Greek mythology too. Zeus banged everything as everything. I remember being, like, I was confused why Lucy and Ricky Ricardo slept in different beds. So it's interesting to see how the depictions of things change over time. Especially to kind of identify the shows that were instrumental in getting groups of people okay with certain things. And that is also why representation matters. I don't think any women willingly banged Zeus, though. That's true. That's true. Zeus was not a wait for consent kind of god. Save, yeah, yep. Fred and Wilma were the first couple to sleep together in bed. An animated couple? Wow.
Raise the bridge.
This game, lots of unnecessary rolling. This game is Hotline Miami meets Dark Souls. There, I said it. Rolling. Huh! A piece about Lucy, and Lucille Ball. Oh, Lucy and Ricardo. Yeah. Apparently, I Love Lucy only happened because they didn't want to be apart from each other. That's very sweet. And they were such a power couple. And then, of course, Desi Arnaz had to fuck it up. All you had to do was only bang your incredibly hot, incredibly rich, incredibly talented wife. That, my man, that is all you had to do. Just bang one of the most amazing women on the planet. That's not asking a lot here. And you can't even just You can't even just steer the dick properly. Can't do it. Won't do it. Refuse to do it. Blech. You watch the biopic of Lucy? I did not. There were two. There was like Meet the Ricardos and a cheaper one, I think. I'm not. I should though. A couple dream goals is Gomez and Morticia Adams. You know, so Steph was just started watching this essay channel called Be Kind Rewind, which I'll also recommend. Really good narrator, well-written articles. Even application of research and opinion and analysis. Anyway, that channel did a kind of an analysis of a couple of like, what's the word? She basically talked about the original Addams Family and the way that they did depictions, and then also the two 90s movies. And yeah, there's a lot of description of the dynamic between Gomez and Morticia Adams. Especially because, and this was what was really interesting, is on this topic, and I can only imagine this is why you're bringing it up, Gomez is shockingly physical with Morticia, but she never pushes him away, or even rebuffs his advances. If anything, she just tells him later. So it's an interesting dynamic of like pretty active sexual promiscuity and implication of sex on camera, like on TV in America in the 60s. But apparently the show was just too goofy that no one even really clocked that. I guess it was just so absurd that it read as humor instead of a genuine depiction of healthy heterosexual lust. Yeah, they both adore each other. It's really wonderful to see, especially for a time when like conflict between spouses was played for laughs. But I think the sad part of that is, and this part is made by the video essay, is that the Addams Family get a lot of comedy from being other or being different, being opposite. So I think if they're depicting of a couple that really get along, are really attracted to each other, and don't fight, maybe that's just their inverse of what they see the normal as. Another interesting thing they noticed in the video essay is that they are the idle rich, but Gomez and Morticia are often depicted as doing activities together, and Morticia often wins, and Gomez actually handles it well. He compliments her. He says that he had, that he had a good time or enjoyed himself, things like that. It's been a roller coaster of a stream, has it? This is just online content, baby. This is what the Twitch streams demand. Oh, that's right. Look at this. This is level design right here. Look at triangle. So good though. It's all the headspace of level design, especially when you have to. So your tools are, you can shoot it or you can use it, and then with those two interactions, you have to create like a whole flow. You have to interact with props and like tell a story. And, shit's creative. Damn, I thought for sure that was gonna shoot him in that. Damn. Talked about Addams Family too much.
This way. In here.
It's okay though.
Doubted the letter was a receipt.
That's the thing.
Rico Muerte had come to town to do more than just sort out family troubles. Exhibits number 1, 2, and 3. Briefcase of money, a sniper rifle, and an envelope with one word neatly printed on a folded piece of expensive paper.
Mayor.
It didn't sound like a mafia contract at all. It was too cold and too to the point.
So now we have a plot to assassinate the mayor. We're getting there. We're getting there. Awesome. The sickest thing in the world. What's cool too is that voice is a character, and she wrote the letter, but you don't know that yet. They do that a couple of times, where you as the viewer or the player hear something in the voice of a character before you even know who the character is. But it's also narration of a comic book, so it's cool that their voices are consistent. Yeah, I'm quick saving. I'm quick saving. Thank you, Colorful Punk. Thank you for making sure that the progress is preserved. Getting smart, they're just standing down there. Fuck. You can see all the bullets coming at you. That hit me. Working my way through POE 2. What's the POE? Because I'm playing through Path of Exile right now. Pillars of Eternity? Yeah. Oh, Pillars of Eternity. Okay. I started it. I played it super briefly. I really enjoyed it. I played it for like one evening, so I got like 3 or 4 hours into it. I was like, this is awesome. This is the Baldur's Gate I wanted. Or Dragon Age, really. And then I just never went back to it. I was too intimidated, I guess. It felt like one of those like 80-hour games. And I just never had the like... It's one of those games where I always told myself that if I just have 4 days with nothing to do, that's what I'm going to do. But, you know, those don't really happen. What the fuck? Man, bro. Was this the first game with bullet time? As far as I know, yes. I definitely don't remember another one before this. And in the crazy post-Matrix days of 2001, that was pretty sweet. Make a Mimi character or let chat play it. Cross your fingers and play. Is Pillars of Eternity one of those RPGs where you can just get, like, how off the rails can it go? Or does it usually go? Because I definitely remember with Fallout 1 and 2, I had a few false starts. Because I just didn't really know what I was doing. Screwed some things up. Lost some momentum, and that was that. Yeah. Shit. Ah! Keep dodging bad. Bought all 4 Stalker games because they were on sale for Ukraine charity. I had no idea the series was this fucking hard. You get used to it. But yeah, there's a Souls aspect to it where you just have to figure out how to survive in that world. It kind of thrashes you around a bit. I think that's why people like it. It is almost like survival sim territory. Just brutalized by the base rules of the game. No idea, but you can multi-class. My character's a Bard Barbarian, and it's hilarious. A Bardbarian? I think I just saw, like, fan art of a Bardbarian. It's a hard-to-play RPG. I also have Divinity. Yeah, those are, like, the thick ones.
Yo!
And Tides of Numenera. Like XCOM 2. I never finished a campaign of XCOM 2. Original Sin 2 was great. Yeah, This is a lot to ask, and maybe I should try to put it together, but I would love to do a playthrough of Original Sin 2 with some of the homies. That's so much time to ask from people, though. Like a co-op campaign is like, what, 60 hours? Maybe? Probably more? It's so cool that you can play through the whole thing in co-op, though. Damn. I respect the hell out of that. Hides is next on my list. Originally Sin 2 is amazing. Yeah. Ugh! There's no one who says a single bad thing about it. I've never heard anyone call it anything less than one of the best RPGs ever. The only campaign of XCOM 2 I finished was on easy and it still took months. Ugh. Yeah, one of these days I was like, I wanted to do an Iron Man campaign of XCOM on hard. That was like a fun goal of mine, but practically speaking. Damn it, fuck! Oh, I guess this could be an XCOM stream for a while. That might work. There's just so much luck involved. At least in XCOM 2, you have the defib packs, and there's a couple of other things that... Fuck! God, those hurt so much. XCOM 2 on easy is not easy. Really? Piquing my interest here. Original Sin 2 has a sex scene that is told entirely through text and is rather graphic, rivaling Cyberpunk. I had to turn off the Michael Caine-esque narrator because he made it too awkward. Oh, man. Oh, baby. I love that it's just text, too, because that makes it safe for Twitch. Can you bone other players? Can you have Michael Caine narrate? You've given your best friend the business? Giving him that work? Roll that nat 20. Imagine Michael Caine describing how your character's getting finger blasted. Finger blasted. Right, finger blasted. Sounds good to me. Sign me up. Especially if I'm like a lizard person. Lizard lady? Yeah. I'm a lizard mage, and I'm getting finger blasted. Tell me about it, Michael Caine. This game rocks. Yes, I will buy the DLC. No, I just dove. It felt the right thing to do. It wasn't the right thing to do. I dove in it. Oh, now I'm gonna get run over in slow motion. Oh, Max. Jeez. Oh yeah, this part. Man, a top tier level design. Burn. What's your favorite liquid? Coffee. Adrenochrome. Yeah, cum was the answer I gave the last time. I actually think it was coffee and then cum. Unicum? Yeah, that's the good shit. Coffee's one of those free things. Sort of. You can overdo it like you can overdo anything in this life, but it's got no calories. It can be delicious. Gives you energy. Makes you like more productive, get shit done. There's very little downside. I guess maybe like your teeth might get brown. make your gut a little rumbly, a little bit. Give you those rumble guts, in one way or the other. Hey, what's up, James Fisto? Thank you for the love. Had that experience with Mortal Shell. The spirit woman in the game responds to the shell of her former lover with a sudden and very intimate dialogue. Huh. I actually didn't get that far. Man, Mortal Shell was good. What a lovely sound this is. A lovely little tour of the docks. Okay, alright. You can see his little face. Little angry face. Safe. The sounds of New York. Hey, oh hey, skadoosh. Skadoosh! I think it's... Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, sound of the docks. Hey! Just some fucking blue collar workers, man. The heartbeat of America. Work on the dock. Work on the docks. Fuck! No! No! Fuck. This is the same button to use as it is to look down the scope. Yeah, that was a wasted, alright. It sure was. Hey! Almost a Max Payne down. This is a very similar game over screen, isn't it? Forget about it. Hey! Hey! I mean, there were 3 times in a row an NPC said, forget about it, into a phone. Hey! Alright, I'm gonna shoot those dudes this time. Nope. There we go. After a full day of working on the docks, I have to drive my old pickup to bar where I drink light beer. Listen to Bruce Springsteen. I think it's gonna miss. There we go. I don't need to pay no fucking union dues. Hey! Oh! See, the union would have insisted there'd be a handrail there. That's what happens, Max. Pay your dues. Mr. Drankle to death. Max is a hard motherfucker. Right? They're both blooded. Oh man, saw the bullet coming. I'm pretty sure there was a time where like I sniped somebody. Along the way the bullet saw the bullet that was coming for me and that one got me. Awesome. This game's pretty cool. Cool game. It's the real flavor of New York. Hell of a town. I guess for a while I kind of associated Rockstar Games with New York.
I found Boris Dime's ship.
What the hell?
His name's Boris Dime. Was this the first game to do bullet travel? Yeah, it was crowdfunded. Pretty cool stuff, I think. Remedy's always had, like, technical shit going on in their games that's kind of a mark above. They, talked about this before, but it's a bunch of demo scene fellas that founded Remedy. So they've always had tight code and cool graphical effects kind of at their DNA. Oh, I guess I can really snipe from here. Do you snipe? Don't really see anything? Oh, okay. My brother lives in New York. This is exactly what it's like. Pretty amazing town. The only town you can go bullet time in. Yeah. What the heck? Where do I go? A bunch of dock workers yelling at each other. People carrying big plate glass windows across the street. There's occasional heists. There's a heist occasionally. People are diving across counters, shooting bullets at each other. Luckily, everyone has bullet time, so check out a vid of El Matador. It's just a Goodwill Max Payne. I think I may have seen a speed run of it. You know what? No, we're not. Okay. Oh, there we go. It was that simple. Yeah, comedians ribbing each other in coffee shops. Steamy manhole covers steaming. Adorable hobos shuffling up and down the sidewalk, grumbling about adorable things. Oh, they did a speedrun of GDQ a while ago? Okay. Then I think I know, or I think I'm familiar with it then. Can you do, like, jumps into, like, wall kicks into more jumps? Like, bullet dive at a wall, flip around, kick off of it, bullet dive again?
Rust had crept over the sides of the cargo steamer a long time ago. Boris Dime would be on board. I'd have to smoke half of his crew to even get near the gangplank. Guns were probably being kept in the hold, buried amidst the rats and oily water.
Adorable NYC tunnel hobos with their cute dicks out. They have homespun wisdom if only anyone had the time to stop and listen. Did you ever do Ultra Nightmare Doom Eternal? I did, yeah. I cleared the campaign on Nightmare. I have not finished DLC 1, and I've actually stepped away from that game for a while at this point. I need to pick that back up again. But yeah, finishing the DLCs on Ultra Nightmare was the next objective. And there are yet more beyond that. There are challenges to do all the Nightmare levels on Ultra Nightmare. Or sorry, the Master levels. It's a hell of a thing. And then there's arcade mode. I never really did everything there was to do with that. I was curious to poke around and figure out what the strats were to play arcade mode well. I was figuring some bits of it out, but I still just needed to learn it more. It's insane. I'm having trouble on Ultra-Violent. You're truly the quintessential gamer. Well, thank you. Put in work to maintain the title. However, don't feel bad, because Ultra-Violent is still very hard.
Angelo Puccinello here.
Angie, tell me, how much did Dime cost you? I bet it was more than his name.
Max Payne.
Right the first time.
You're dead, punk.
You sure you're not confusing me with Boris here? But you are right, of course. Pretty soon we should get together and have a talk.
You son of a...
Pissing Punchinello off was a dangerous game, but when people get mad, they make mistakes. I should know. That's where I wanted Punchinello, mad enough to trip over his own feet, preferably into a grave.
What do you think they're working at id right now? Seems like Eternal's wrapped up. It does seem like that. I think they're still working on content for Doom Eternal. They still released like... Jeez. Oh, you. They've still released... They They release new skins and stuff, and sometimes like new content. I think they did a refresh of the game's multiplayer, added a map, I think. And then yeah, occasionally they'll release like a new master level. So it's reasonable to expect they're still developing content at a slow but regular pace for Doom Eternal, which is always good. Because the master levels are really good. Didn't Doom 2 just get new content? I don't know about Doom and Doom 2. The port of Quake did. They actually released some new maps for the remaster of Quake, or the remake, re-release, whatever. I have zero reason to believe it, but Doom 3 RTX. Let's pull it out there, gang. I would love to see that. And they have, well,
Tell the devil the dimes sent you.
they have ray tracing in id Tech. It's in Doom Eternal now. This is a modded version of Max Payne. Textures look way too good for a 21-year-old game. Yes. There are texture mods installed, and a widescreen fix, and just some other things to actually make it run properly, or close to properly. It was basically, I got it running with just a texture pack installed, but it soon crashed. There were some other things I had to do, and then a viewer suggested just a mod fix pack, so that's what I ended up doing. Just an install with like a community collected pack of compatibility mods, and part of that is an upgraded texture pack. Yes. Both got a new add-on called Arrival. Interesting. Interesting. Oh yeah, the ray tracing mod for Doom. I wanted to check that out. Doom 1. But sorry to go back to the original question. Holy fuck.
Rusted crypto.
I read a teeny tiny reference to Quake in Doom Eternal. There was specifically a warp gate called a slip gate. At one
Rusted crypto.
gunshot. So good. It's fading away. Hey. So that's all I got to go on, really. I could see that team wanting to do a reboot of Quake, because Quake has a lot of cool stuff in it, theoretically. Quake 1 doesn't really capitalize on it very well. It kind of does. Like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. It was the gameplay and the design more than the world and aesthetic, and the sound design. Like the soundtrack and the sound effects are actually like super great. But there wasn't a whole lot of exploration of aesthetic, I think. I mean, same thing with Doom. It just didn't really have the room for it. So like, to think about like Hugo, who worked on Pacific Rim, by the way, working on Cosmic Horror, which Doom Eternal started to have elements of in it anyway. And to do that to a property where it's like, no, it's full bore, like crazy Cthulhu monsters that will fry your brain, and making a game like that in id Tech, modern id Tech. I think they're up to 7? 6? I think they're on 6. Can't remember the name. That would be pretty cool. That'd be really cool. And I think that could be like colorful and vibrant enough and different enough to capture people's attention. Especially with the art team that they have. I think they could really wow people. Or they're working on something new. I think that would be equally exciting. Hold on a minute. We can do this. Bang.
Rusted crept over the sides of the cargo steamer a long time.
What, Quake 5 or just Quake and make it new and different like Doom 2018 and Doom Eternal? That's kind of what I think. Is just call it Quake. There's a whole lot of like I have done zero market research. I don't know a thing. But just from the gamer perspective, I think it capitalizes on the goodwill at this point I think they've earned because of Doom. I think attaching it to one of those like timeless shooters in a very neat and plain and direct way leverages all the good that they did with Doom, really. If that's what it is. Would be cool if Reznor could come back to do some music and sound direction. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, but I mean, that would be incredible. Can't even. Yeah, that would be sick. That'd be sick. I was gonna say like the musical talent that they've worked with and the audio talent is still real top tier, and I stand by that. But no, Reznor's kind of in a league of his own, and it would be super rad. What's cool to think about is maybe the work that they did both like in the audio and in the soundtracks of Doom Eternal could be something that could reconnect them or have him want to work on that property again. That'd be really cool.
Tell me, how much did Dime cost you? I bet it was more than his name.
Max Payne.
Right the first time.
You're dead, punk.
You sure you're not confusing me with Bor?
Quick save. Got it. You could turn it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of okay. I'm happy about the fact that it's just been quiet. You know, that means they're working on something. That means something's been greenlit, and they're just quietly making a thing, and that makes me happy. I don't care how long it takes. As that they have budget, right? Like they're funded. Everything's fine. So every day that goes by is a day a great team has made something very cool about something that I like, unless there's a catastrophe of some sort. We'll see eventually. So that's just like, I can just like tuck myself into bed at night and be like, know that all's right with the world. If it's Quake 2023, 24, or 25 when it comes out, gotta be Trent on the soundtrack. Only seems right. Well, maybe. I mean, he just may not be into it anymore. Can't make him do it if he's not interested in it. I have to imagine he's at the point in his career where he gets to like choose the stuff that's interesting. I would like for him to because his work has just been so good. He's almost had like a Danny Elfman arc now that I think about it. Like very like young and brash and aggressive and head turning with provocativeness that like then turned into a kind of like a musical profoundness of like actually there's a lot musically going on here that's really impressive, and then into doing like TV and film score and doing some of the best. Have you seen the Elfman Reznor collab? Yeah. Which I really liked. I never really thought about their musical paths being similar in that way. Why are you all the way across the room, bro? Like the worst. Cheese the fucker. Nice. Want to see Darren Gray at least once in my life before they disband and I die. I would. I want very much for that to happen. I think that would mean a lot to you. That would definitely mean a lot to you. Have they talked about disbanding?
You know,
That feels like a group that hopefully is going to be at it until life says otherwise.
a liar. Glad I'm here. Collect all the guns and ammo you want. Meet me on the bridge afterwards.
Elfman has fallen into the same trap Zimmer, Williams, and a few others have. That his work has turned into a style now, and it's all a bit too samey. I'll agree, a lot of his film scores are just kind of there, or they're very Elfman-y. He did you know, pioneer a sound, and now if it sounds like that, it sounds like him. I guess Silvestri is kind of the superhero theme guy now, but his if you think his movie scores are too samey though, check out his album work, because he has done some like album stuff lately in collaborations, and just he released a solo album too that are
Did you get everything?
They're out there musically.
Check.
They're very good.
Anything you need.
This is my
There's still a lot of punch there.
When I'm through,
There's still a lot of
won't be anybody's
originality
problem anymore.
Clear as vodka. But anytime you get between a rock and a hard place, just whistle. This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
You really get a bang out of this big-time gangster act, don't you?
All right, I have guns. Lots of guns. Dutifully wait for Malice Miser to get back together with Gact.
Even with all this
I've only heard
firepower,
Gact as
I
a
figured I
solo.
couldn't get to Punchinello at his manor. I could only hope that he wouldn't pass a chance to hear me beg to see he's won. This is Max Payne. I want to cut a deal.
Payne, you're a dead man.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. I got your ship and her cargo. I want to meet. No pain, no gain. Capiche?
You know my restaurant?
Yeah, I know it.
1 hour.
Punchinello's restaurant had seen better days.
Oh, he used to be in Malice
Snow
Miser.
was falling like ashes from post-apocalyptic
It was great with him. His
skies.
solo stuff is
But that was outside. Things would soon get hot in the Don's restaurant. I knew
They
it
put
was a
such
long
amazing
shot.
emphasis on the audio.
Angelo
Yeah,
Punchinello
I love
actually
it. I
showed
love
up. But there was no crime in hoping.
the Foley and the sound effect work. Oh man, this level's really great. It really has the elements of motion comics, and I'm, aside from cartoons and, you know, anime, were motion comics a thing in '99? Because there was such a wonderful like there's an audiobook sensation to it of doing the sound effects. There was even one earlier that preceded a boss fight where you get like shot at and you hear the bullet like whizzing by in stereo, and you even hear the like slow-mo sound effects in the motion comic. Oh, they were a thing? Okay. Dark Horse did a lot back in the day. Okay, all right. I only became familiar with it in like the mid-aughts, I think. What format were they done in? Was it just like on VHS tapes you could buy or something? Who died? Came on CD-ROMs. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So it was the idea that you would collect CD-ROMs of motion comics like you would collect traditional comics? It's a Heavy Metal 2000 animated movie. Wow. That sucks. Because the movie was not good. Man. Heavy Metal 2000. What a pile. I finally watched it. I was saving it, but I wasn't... I don't know what I was expecting. It was about as bad as I guess I was hoping it would be. The movie ruled. It rules, I guess... It rules in certain ways. Yeah. Didn't say. Heavy Metal's a beautiful disaster. Okay, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Getting a Switch tomorrow finally. Any Outlier exclusives I may not have thought of or forgot about over the years? A lot of the big ones I would recommend are kind of just less known, but I think they're on other systems. I like Just Shapes and Beats a lot. Think of what else. I'd have to look through my library, I think. There's a lot of good stuff on there, though. a lot of it is sort of like the real solid sort of indie tier PC release. Switch really did become a good like mini Switch machine. Ugh, damn man, same room. As a Mobius fan, 4K of the original Heavy Metal sounds pretty great. I think the original is more fun than 2000s. Maybe. I don't know. The CG in 2000 is pretty amazingly bad. Oh yeah, Ninjala. I like Ninjala. I've been sponsored by them though, so just keep that in mind, I guess. I'm shilling. Yeah, Ninjala is really fun. And free to play. Got a really good announcer. And a lot of really good music. And the music's all part of like the free game. The room just explodes. Die. Fast? Oh, I guess so. Okay. Oh yeah, then I die there. Is there a non-99 Tetris release on the system? Yes. There's. I think there's 2 Puyo Tetris combos, and that's good for just straight up. Oh, Tetris Effect is on Switch as well. Oh! The canister got me. Damn. Remember that sweet canister that flew across the room? Oh. Look how sad Max is. He's never gonna avenge his wife and kid now. Did you say Ring Fit is worth the price of the controller? Yes. I adore Ring Fit. I think Ring Fit is the best fitness game, and one of the best games on the Switch. But really, I mean, it's a good JRPG on top of being really inventive and funny. It's got awesome music. I played it just today, in fact. It's got side quests. You level up. It's got a skill tree.
It was burning to get me. The feeling was mutual. He was trying to put out my flames with gasoline.
Nice. You can put on different clothes that have different workout stats. Oh yeah, 13 Sentinels. That's a good rec. Alright, if we're just full ass like recommending games, let me think. Undertale's on there. That's good. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Is a real good open world action JRPG, and long. If you're into that kind of thing, you have to like have at least a passing tolerance for anime. I don't think X is on Switch. Wait, no, you're right. X, my bad. Chronicles HD. You're right. X is the Wii U one. Xenoblade Chronicles 8. What's the remaster version called on Switch?
The mobsters have been guarding a real treasure. The way out of this disco inferno.
Chronicles Definitive Edition. All right, Definitive Edition.
It's pain.
Fire Emblem. I mean, all the mainline Nintendos, but you probably have already thought of those. You weren't even asking. The Messenger. Papers, Please, I think, is on Switch. There's a raft of like top tier in PC indie titles that came out from like 2010 to 2020, and a lot of those have been ported to Switch. The Messenger is a must play, but it's on other platforms. It is. It's on a lot of stuff, but it does feel like Switch feels like a good fit for it. Celeste. Oh yeah, Blasphemous is good. Dead Cells, Hades. Again, other platforms, but frick. Is the definitive edition worth getting? Is it as good as the original? You know, Pop-Tart, I bought it. I haven't even started it, so I should just stream it one of these days, and you can take a look at it and see. Hey. Eastward. I played a little bit of Eastward. I want to play a little bit more of it. I didn't quite get the like Earthbound-iness of it. Maybe a little bit. I guess the dialogue was pretty Earthbound-y. Very like quirky and non sequitur. You should play Dead to Rights if you're on an early 2000s action kick. Dead to Rights is just like a less fun Max Payne though, right? That's kind of what it felt like. I guess you have a dog. Damn it. There's a couple of rhythm games that are pretty good. I almost want to poke through my my library. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Yeah, it's a fun ride. Ugh, frick, same thing. I did dive right in front of his shotgun. That one's on me. I think Death's Door is on Switch. I'm falling too fast. Quick save. There we go.
Vlad had seen my smoke
I played
signals.
Red Strings Club on Switch.
Mercedes was revving to go, almost drowning out the banshee wail of the sirens.
You coming? We'll drop you off at the Punchinello Manor.
Sounds good to me.
When this is over, look me up. I could use a professional like you.
I'll keep that in mind.
There's ever been a good sewer level in a game? I'm sure Ninja Turtles has had a good sewer level here or there. Final Fantasy VII, you kind of go into a sewer at some point. It's all right. Jet Set Radio, maybe? Grinding around on Switch or on sewer pipes? Diablo? Sewer Shark?
The night groaned with cold. The garden lights flickered nervously. In their light, the falling snow was dead white before the darkness ate it up.
Souls? Every
I'd
sewer in
heard
Souls.
the stories. The trio were mad dogs. They'd have hung the heads of their enemies over the manor gates if the capo had only let them. Punchinello wanted pain. He'd see the pain. The trick in my situation was that there was no trick, no matter what the movies tell you. No rules, no secret mantra, no roadmap. It wasn't about how smart or how good you were. It was chaos and luck, and anyone who thought different was a fool. All you could do was to hang on madly, as long and as hard as you could. Someone had graciously left the back door open for me and killed the guards. My money was on Mona. I knew the trio would be standing between me and Punchinello. I had read their rap sheets, thick as phone books. No one would be walking out of here alive. The numbing cold of the broken night had followed me in. Upstairs, the trio tangoed down the manor halls to the silent rhythm of their murderous hearts. The blood of their victims rust on their lips. Vince Mignano, Pilot Providence, a.k.a. Big Brother, and Joe Deadpan Salem. The pistol was a frozen lump in my hand, piercing the skin, gnawing me to the bone.
All right, Max, always a bundle of joy. Hey, what's up, Young Turkey? Mario 1-2, sewer level, sure. I mean, there's a pipe world in Mario 3. It's basically, there's already a guy. That's basically, it's like one giant sewer, right? It's the whole sewer world.
Hey!
Said that. Why did the faces look so realistic yet so bad? Because there is a texture pack installed. Which I think still fits the design spirit of the game. Because they did try to use photorealistic textures for stuff. I remember the faces did look very much like inkjet printouts stuck onto a weird doll kind of thing. Because I'm pretty sure they did have like real faces digitized in the game and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Bill. They look that weird and bad back in the day. I think it lends to this game's charm. But I'm also very apologetic, I think.
In death, the thug had been promoted to messenger.
I think this is one of those Magic games where even the incidental things about it work to its benefit.
Someone hadn't enjoyed the Don's hospitality. Someone with a flair for the dramatic. Someone who had let herself out of a locked cell and past a couple of armed guards. My thoughts were on Mona again. I could only hope she was a good enough gambler to walk away while she was still winning, before she'd run into the trio.
Hot. So hot. Stick this stuff on the wall. Whatever. We're just proud, that's all. Whoa! What? God, those bullet holes in the wall. You playing all the pains? I don't know. Let's see. Depends how much time I have. What else comes out? Kind of in a lull for releases right now. That's why I can get away with just doing whatever. I mean, I can always do whatever, and I often do. But, you know, I still want to put a lot of time into Elden Ring, but I guess I have to give up on realistically finishing it before doing a review. Darn it. Plus, these games are pretty fast. Yeah. Oh, they would be.
Someone get the guys from upstairs! No one's going anyplace. Too late for that. He walks in, we waste him. Benny and Joe and Pilot won't get the credit for this kill. What the?
Awesome. 2004 Punisher? Yeah. That game was pretty great. For, like, torture minigames. It sounds so terrible to say it, but it was a Punisher game. Come on. Like, shoving people's heads into piranha tanks and stuff. Yeah, I gotta finish God of War. Yeah. Gotta be Ripper. Yup. I agree. Gotta play every Sonic game. Every Sonic video game that is about or mentions Sonic.
It didn't take me long to run into the trio. The word on Lisa Punchinello was that she was a bit of a witch. The tarot cards on the kitchen table fit the picture. They weren't my kind of cards, but I was willing to take a crack at the hand Mrs. Punchinello had dealt.
Yep. Horse Friday.
The first card was the tower. Maybe that was supposed to be.
Gotta play Star Wars Bounty Hunter next.
It got easy after that. The devil was the master of the house, and death was me, coming for him.
I love the idea of Max Payne squint grimacing at tarot cards and reading the most literal, direct interpretation into them he possibly can. Just like pausing his quest for murder for like 30 seconds to just glare at some cards and be like, yes, I know exactly what this means. And then move on killing everybody. Hey. Ah.
1
Oh yeah, Sonic Unleashed. Holy cow. Morning Spectrum Z90. Spectrum Z90. Jesus. That was
One down, 2 to go.
Hey, what's up, Gil? What about the old Xbox game Black? That is actually playable via backwards compatibility. And as part of Game Pass, as part of EA... whatever, EA Play, yeah. So if you have Game Pass, you can just download it and play it on Xbox. Pretty cool. I will say this, though. If you... and this is related to this game, believe it or not. If you liked Black, you might want to check out Crossfire X. They also sponsored me recently, so chill. But... it had very similar energy to Black, and pretty cheap too, and developed by Remedy. So Remedy made a single-player, story-based campaign, Crossfire. Oh, I didn't know they would die. That's cool. You look way stupider than I did, though. I did stream Black a while ago. Yeah, it's interesting to go back and play it. Shooters have changed. Black is still fun, but not the same way. And what the thrills that it does offer are pretty transient these days. What's the meters on the left? So the silhouette of Max Payne that fills up with red is my health. If it gets to the top, I die. Painkillers make it go down, so I want that meter low. The hourglass next to it is my slow motion time, my bullet time. I get that by killing dudes, and I spend it by doing slow motion shoot dodges or just turning on bullet time, which costs a lot. Oh, thanks for the raid. Oh, you know what? Gosh, I think my tracker's broken. I've noticed my my event feed has been weird. Anyway, am I love to the lady? I will. Have a good night. There's gonna be people in here. Ah. Shit. Tabbed. Oh, God. That beautiful habit of tab to get stuck down. Tab out of a game. The Windows urge to hold down tab. Steam overlaid, yeah. So many video game deaths to the Steam overlay. If nobody got me, at least I know Steam overlay got me. It'll always be there. Everyone say thank you, Steam Overlay. We want to make sure Steam Overlay always feels welcome. Hey, Steph.
2 down, 1 to go.
I was wearing a glowing ring. She went to see Big Lebowski. I guess they gave her a halo. You get a halo? You're dead? I hope not. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I guess it would look like Cosmic Bowling if you're in an audience with a bunch of people who are wearing that. Gil says hi.
Stop at him! This will stop anything. They come.
I just got exploded. I wasn't listening to the chatter. No, Max. Ugh. His path of vengeance ends tonight.
Don't stop at him!
Hey, what's up, Madman?
This will stop anything. They come.
Yeah, that was I agree. That's weird. Yeah, go ahead and toss it. I got one of those weird like defect cans that doesn't have any carbonation in it. Good lord! Oh, Max.
Don't stop at him!
I was gonna wash it. I haven't washed it yet. Just leave it. Sorry. I actually need to change that right now. Yeah, look at him. He's got like a grenade launcher? What the heck am I supposed to do? He super has a grenade launcher. Therm. Dang. What the hell, man?
Don't stop at him!
Oh, wait. 3,000 IQ play. This is what plays when you're murdering people. Trying to murder rampage. Hey, Neon Phil, thanks for the sub. It's a lot of time. Enjoy it. I am. Thank you. Appreciate the primes. Shit. Oh, thank God that guy sucks at aiming. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself so many times with this thing. Oh, I'm gonna die all over the place. Ooh. Ooh. Surf guitar. So good. Very Tarantino, I think. Might be where this is coming from.
It was too late for her.
Uh-oh, Max. More damsels are dying on your watch.
You're a real angel, Max.
I couldn't tell whether it was Mona or her sister. The body was a mess. The sick bastard had really gotten a kick out of it. Seeing her lying there got me thinking about another woman's body on another bed. Got me thinking about a fallen cradle.
Max is just losing it. You ever play God Hand? Oh, yes. Loved God Hand. I have a God Hand t-shirt. Now that would be a fun game to play through. I've thought about trying to play through all of Clover's games. Clover into Platinum games.
Max Payne.
Talk to me.
Alfred Woden. You've got company. An armed helicopter just landed on the manor grounds. You must hurry.
The more the merrier.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Vince Mugliano.
It. Dude, soaked it. Still super upset that Max Payne 3 wasn't recognized more. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Max Payne 3 is sort of... it wasn't... I mean, it didn't sell super well when it came out, and then it is kind of... Seems like it's just largely underrated. The people who know, but like... just never really broke the sales, you know? Never really broke public consciousness. Yeah, I think it is one of the more, if not most, underrated games. God damn, man. He just walked out and shot me.
Punchinello's trio was done for.
Ay, Cleaned up the streets, finally.
Outside my door. Hurry. He's coming for me. You gotta hurry. Please.
I could hear Punchinello on the phone begging for help. He should have been saying his goodbyes. Punchinello was a pushover. The moment I stepped into the room, he folded like a deuce before a royal flush.
No, wait. I was just doing what I was told. I couldn't refuse. She's someone high up. Government, maybe. I don't know.
He was trying to buy more sand for his hourglass. I wasn't selling any.
No, I told him not to.
Ah! My apartment complex is saying I can't have a window AC unit anymore. Is that a thing in Cali? I don't know if it is or isn't. I imagine your apartment's probably entitled to say something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can check your lease.
Punchinello's trio was done for.
Go. Yeah. Oh. We have a couple of floor units here, mostly because a lot of the windows in this place are bizarrely shaped and don't accommodate a window unit. A lot of them are sliding windows, like horizontal sliding windows. Miley says I can't have anything hanging out a window or anything between the glass and the blinds. Oh, huh. So a floor unit would work in that circumstance, but floor units are not great. They're pretty inefficient in terms of like electricity. But
Drop it. Don't move.
Game over, Max Payne.
I think they just want this place to look better. But summer's gonna be hot, so fuck that. Yeah, do you not have
I could tell when I was outgunned.
I guess you don't have central AC or anything like that.
The mystery witch was a real barracuda. Trouble on dagger heels, a smoking assault rifle in her hand, and an army of killer suits behind her.
How sweet. I get to kill.
Yeah, floor units are also loud. That's true.
Sooner or later, it was going to catch up with you.
Mr. Payne, it's time to show you the benefits of my brew.
Oh, this part is so sick.
Be a good boy now.
You'd find that Lady Luck was really a hooker. You were fresh out of cash.
Need your opinion on my PC gaming dilemma. I'm torn between 3050 or 3060 for an upgrade on my GPU. I currently have an RX 570. I'll be honest, I have no idea. I really don't know the difference between a 3050 and a 3060. So I have no opinion to offer. There's just so much. There's so much out there. Look up some benchmarks. Look up some benchmarks. See what the difference is.
We're done here. Take me
like,
cold steel.
That always helps me to be like, okay,
I could feel green fire.
$400 for 37 frames per second. It's $450 for 42 frames a second.
Chance. The witch had got me just as sure as if she put a gun to my head and pulled.
I feel like when you examine the price difference, then you can just like say,
rushed me. Bruised
am I gonna like
for revenge?
Is another 5 frames a second worth $200? Is it worth $20?
The floor turned into a vortex of green blood. I fell.
Prices may drop further. Well, sure, but that always that we are always forever in a cycle of new hardware being worked on and released, and what's out now will always be cheaper. So yeah, I don't know that we're on the cusp of 4000 release. So I don't even think that's near enough to concern oneself with when it comes to buying GPUs.
Who's there? Max? Max, is that you?
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. Oh, the 3060 is about 40% over 3050's performance according to the benchmarks. That's a pretty significant performance bump then. How much more expensive is it?
Max? Where are you, Max? Please.
Anyway, this is a sick drug trip. Yeah, I think rather than seeking my advice, you might just want to get some, farm some opinions from chat.
Max, no, I'm sorry.
They seem a lot more familiar with it than I do. I was lucky enough to get a 3080 in late 2020. So I've been lucky enough to ignore the GPU market. Although I hear in like the last month, GPU prices have come down quite a bit and accessibility has gone up quite a bit.
The letter was staring at me.
Bartender is shiny stuff and dreams are made of stooped necromancers. He sings like a banana wrist having strayed too close to the constellations on their shaved skulls.
There was a bad line in a prank call. Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar. The weird piece of paper looked dangerous. There was something disturbingly familiar about the letter before me.
Love that.
The handwriting was all pretty.
I love that photo. It's such a good response image.
Game, Max.
The truth was a burning green crack through my brain, weapon statistics hanging in the air, glimpsed out of the corner of my eye, endless repetition of the act of shooting, time slowing down to show off my moves, the paranoid feel of someone controlling my every step. I was in a computer game. Funny as hell, it was the most horrible thing I could think of.
A gamer. Damn right, Max.
Don't lose it. It's Valk here. The drug. Snap out of it. Try to remember.
It was a bad line in a prank call. Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
Still holding a gun. Hello? Max Payne here. Bang bang, hello. What am I drinking? I'm sipping on a Vietnamese iced coffee. I decided to treat myself. Contribute plastic to the world. The world's gonna take this one on the chin. It was a hard day. Or a busy day, I should say. Not a hard one. Busy one. God, the sound design is so delightful. Can't tell if that's how that's supposed to be. Yeah, whatever. You can hit up City Hall and ask for a slumlord complaint against a shit compound ruining my rooftop. Damn. What's going on? Do you have like people throwing trash out the window or something? Oh my gosh, this hallway, this pattern. Whoa. Got another one of these. Hell yeah. What time is it for me? Well, I'm on Pacific, so 11:16. 11:16 in the PM here on the West Coast. Let's see. Sequence is going to be a trip in the remake. Yeah, I'm particularly excited about that. I talked about this before, but I think like, oh crap, I can't air control. Yeah, with what the team at Remedy did in Control and some of the more perception bending sequences in that game. Very excited to think about what they could do with some kind of like trippy drugged out sequence. They did these levels in Max Payne. They were not well liked. I remember nearly everyone pointing these out as a weak point in the game. I did not dislike them as much as other people did. I'm kind of okay with learning the particulars of how to jump with dumb physics. I think that's just as much a video game as like diving around corners and shooting people. But I get why people can't. Why people...
No, Max!
What are we implying here, video game?
You killed her!
I like how it plays the theme that it plays when you die. Yeah.
Max, something happened at the office today. A strange memo. Something about Vikings.
Honey, I gotta run. You can tell me all about it this evening.
Yeah, whatever, babe.
The bullet holes were rubies on her chest, blood glowing on her ivory skin. She was so beautiful. The killer was smiling.
The flesh of fallen angels.
So cool. Looking forward to the Control-esque sequences that are bound to be in Alan Wake 2. Maybe, yeah.
Slowly, the green nightmare faded, leaving dark stains on my soul.
They have said it's going to be full-on survival horror. So the fact that they're dedicating to that genre is really interesting.
I woke up in a cold sweat, sick and tired to the bone, lying in a puddle of my own puke. The hag had said take me to Cold Steel before it had all gone crazy. It was a clue, the only one I had.
Cold Steel.
It took me forever to crawl back to my feet and hit the road, but when I did, I drove straight to Cold Steel Foundry outside the city. There was a whole lot of action around the place for a freezing winter night. Trucks coming and going, men running. I had the drop on the mystery witch. She thought I was dead. I was on her blind side. I was going in. The bad trip had put me in a crazy mood, adrenaline pumping through my aching veins. Staggering on the mill roof in ice and snow and wild wind, I was a ninja. My kung fu was strong. I wasn't kidding anybody. At best, I was Superman on Kryptonite about to fall through a skylight, down to where it was all going down. A half-abandoned industrial area in the middle of nowhere. The factory was a perfect front for any number of illegal activities.
I was Superman on Kryptonite. So good. So dumb. It reminds me of, like, some of that shit reminds me of the Doom novel. When Fly's talking about how awesome he
metal
is.
boiled and bubbled like a witch's brew.
Flips around immediately. Hup, hup, hup. Huh. Oh, man. Good thing they didn't take my trusty Beretta. Oh, geez, that's right. Forgot about this part. Stephen King inspired survival horror. Have we seen that before? Maybe shades of it in Deadly Premonition, maybe? Not really, though? Not really. Not that I can think of, Lost Verses. I think, like, Clive Barker's Undying. I don't know if I'm saying that because it is actually Stephen Kingish or if it just has an author's name on it. I don't know. Stephen King doesn't necessarily do the, like, tumbles down into meat dimension stuff, but it's not out of his scope. Yeah, Jericho. Also has something. Jericho's a little further away, I think, than Undying.
In the city's history, vehicles stuck in snow, heavy snowfall, forecast shows, severe weather is expected to continue.
Out in the night, snow fell like confetti over the Devil's Parade. The storm.
Layers of Fear kind of feels Stephen King. Little bit. In the way that, like, it's almost like human trauma becomes this abstract impressionistic experience. That's a little Kingish. You know, I guess like when I think about it, Silent Hill 2 can be a little Stephen Kingy. It is deeply sexual. Maybe not deeply, but it's sexual. And it is about a pretty messed up relationship. Yeah, Undying was more Lovecraft by O. Barker. I agree. Lost Verses, I think you're right. I mean, yeah, there's Alan Wake. I just assumed that didn't count because we were kind of talking about Alan Wake 2. Yeah, Alan Wake's kind of the only other one. Let me think. That's an interesting question. I think it's also because like King's style is so nuanced and so related to prose that it's difficult to imagine it converting into a game unless it's a game of Stephen King trope references, which is sort of what Alan Wake is. I mean, it's exactly what Alan Wake is. Jesus. Yeah, Lawnmower Man game. Indigo Prophecy? Yeah. Okay, yes. You know what? Yeah. Actually, yeah. I think you nailed it. I think Indigo Prophecy is kind of like... is absolutely like an 80s movie version of a King novel. Yeah. That kind of blows my mind. All of David Cage's shining works are kind of like Stephen King movie adaptations. Yeah, man. What is Heavy Rain if not a really bad movie version of a Stephen King novel? That's exactly what it is. You know what? I always wondered... There was something about those games, Quantic Dream games, that I always found appealing, and it wasn't because I thought they were good, but I think that's what it is. They've all got that, like, 80s movie, like 80s horror movie adaptation and energy.
Shoot to kill. Alert.
Same with Omicron. Omicron, I would say, yeah, except for the fact that you go to a sci-fi cyberpunk future. If it's Stephen King, you go to 1959. you go somewhere weird. Not something that's like so crafted to fit a teen boy's fantasy or David Cage's fantasy. Yeah, always Maine. It's 1350, but it's Maine. And there's a slow-moving van that's just stalking you. Gonna hit you. Cyberpunk Maine? Could be. Maybe that's how they do it. Unexplained Psychic Child? Yeah, unexplained something. Unexplained something and creepily thought out implications of what that does to sex. It's all those things except there's a completely unnecessary but very graphic sequence of somebody jerking off in a gas station bathroom. Just there for color, I guess. Heavy Rain type of games is what I suggest when a non-gamer asks me for games with a good story. Oh, you're doing them a disservice if you're suggesting Heavy Rain. I would say maybe like Don't Nod's work is probably a little further up there. The Dark Pictures anthology is fun. I don't know. Games with like solid good writing, kind of hard to come across in ways that are also digestible and linear. Yeah, Disco Elysium though is the real shit. Disco Elysium is that's the deep stuff. I feel like you got to kind of vet somebody before Disco Elysium is a solid wreck. I think everybody would appreciate it though. Detroit Become Hummus. I actually like Detroit okay. I thought it was at peace with itself. it finally abandoned this weird, like, misrepresentative pretense those games tended to have. They tried to convince you they were way more than they were. Cool. Oh, I missed a secret. Oh no. In this room? Oh, do you do a thumbs up if you fall in the lava? Yeah, disco is heady, for sure. It will try to challenge you. Challenge your thoughts about things. Crap. I'm gonna have to get more water. In the room with the lava, you can jump to the other side, if I recall. Alright, let me find out. If I'm smart enough for disco. Disco will make you smart, don't worry about it. You mean like in there? Merely playing disco raises your intelligence. I don't know what the stream title even means. It's just a quote from Max Payne. So, oh, the little side room. Little side. This one? Oh. Oh, the Disco Elysium title. I don't know what it means either. Lower floor. Lava's on your left as you go in. Lava's on my left. This is where I came from, right? Oh, now whatever. See you, Kironimo. Go. Have a good night. Nice. Alright, what's the deal here? The shutter was closed. Oh, okay. Alright. This shutter. This is what I need to get into? Oh, I think, okay. Let's go on the other side of this. Oh, okay. Is that it? I mean, a lot of good items. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Free stuff. Appreciate that. Thank you. The Colt Commando is very good to have ammo for. It's like the first gun that's remotely accurate, but then they get it too. So it becomes more of a knife fight. I just thought this was cool. Jump up there. That always felt wrong. Ah! Where'd you come from? My path and interpretation of the title pointed to Disco Elysium, meaning the rapid fire of neurons and lights you see when you're dying. Oh. Yeah, that's already heady as shit, isn't it? That's some pinky out bullshit. Some game of the year shit. Damn it. Slides out. Jesus Christ. First and only reliable automatic gun. Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes you just spray. And it feels good. It feels good to hose the bullets down, but sometimes they just don't hit. Max even said it was what? Chaos and luck? Anyone that says anything else is lying to themselves. Doom Throw, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, Pink Pooter Poof, thanks for the prime. I missed that. This game can be rather engrossing.
I bet they sleep with their rifles. I bet they've given them names.
I guess. So, you don't have a name for your gun?
Hello? Hell no. You do?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Hey, let's hear it.
Well, I call it Dick Justice.
I rest my case.
That's where that comes from.
Perimeter breached. The facility has been compromised. Repeat, the Deep Six has been compromised. Initiate Operation Deadeye.
The walkie-talkie military lingo could mean only one thing. They were getting ready to destroy the evidence and vanish into the night. I was so close. The hidden truths were just around the corner.
You almost got there, Max. You've almost kicked over the whole hive. These hot ladies. Ooh-wee. There's actually some booba going on there. Alright. Gotta wait long enough for that to be my thumbnail on Twitch for the next 20 minutes. Pixel boobs. Nothing wrong with pixel boobs. Ain't nothing wrong at all. They're, comforting.
Casualty status.
Woo! Now that kip up is really
table told a grim tale.
It's really awesome, but man, I have a heart attack waiting.
Mercenaries were running a tight operation, paperwork and all.
Merchandise missing again. A chemist had tried to smuggle it out for his own private party. Locked him up in cell B7 in D6's old test facility to wait for proper processing.
I was close enough to hear the secrets, just beyond the next doorway.
Sponge Samba, thanks for gifting a sub. Surely Max Payne 2 after you beat this? I'm thinking about it. I'm having a lot of fun. That's a good sign. Also, there's nothing like super pressing for me to play. Aside from, I guess, my streaming backlog, which is a funny thing to have. Max Payne 2 is so short. I remember being pretty short, but I remember Max Payne 1 being pretty short too. Yeah, Max Payne 2 has the spinny reload. You get your bullet time levels up as you kill dudes, and then you can do like a quick reload, like twirling around. Pretty cool mechanic, actually. Going from Max Payne 1 to 2 was really interesting because like the way they revamped the design to like prioritize certain things and encourage the player to do certain things or play a certain way. I was like, oh, all right. That's when I was sort of tracking that Remedy was not only made really cool game engines, and like technically cool and creative, fun, stupid games, but then they also had the the mind to iterate on game design in thought-provoking ways. Like Ghostwire Tokyo at all. I've tried a couple of times. It runs really poorly on my PC in baffling ways. In some ways that do like severely impact the experience for me and make it not one that I want to have. I keep having this issue with cutscenes. If it's above 1080, some people have had this problem where cutscenes just play really crappy and like the audio and video desync. And the only solution that I've seen is to just play in 1080. Which it's just bummer. I don't want to do that. I want the crispness. And then apart from that, it also just runs really choppy and stuttery. Again, everyone has said the solution is to play in 1080, and all those issues go away. So either I play in 1080. Maybe I should just play in 1080. Maybe I should just do that. Just get over it. I mean, I'm gonna have so many frames, right? I'm gonna have an outrageous frame rate if I play in 1080. That's a really pretty game too. I can also, I guess I can run DLS. Well, DLSS wouldn't help it that way. I'd need to like, maybe I can super sample at 1080 or something. 1080 aside from 4K. So that I don't have a 4K monitor. I have a 1440p monitor. I've actually paid for a 4K monitor, but it hasn't been built yet. I'm waiting for an Eve Spectrum. Didn't I get a PS5 a little while ago? I did, but I have it on PC, so I'd have to buy it again. And I don't think I can refund it. I think I've played it too much. Maybe I should check into that. Yeah, that's my tale. Oh, Mr. Grimm, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. So, no worries. I think one way or the other, I'll either get over myself and play at 1080, or I have it on PC. I was actually given a code for it on PC, so my feelings are conflicted because I actually didn't pay for it. So actually, I can't get I don't know what I'm thinking. I can't get a refund. Obviously. But I was very much looking forward to it, and it looks really cool. The other part of this is Steph has it, and she's been playing on PS5, and she's been having a great time. And I've been watching her play a lot. And I've actually really enjoyed watching her play. Makes me want to play it because yeah, it looks like a really fun game. The cats are really cute. I love all the little tanukis, little kappas. It's a very me kind of game. And it just sucks because it's pretty, it looks really cool, and I think if it ran properly, it would be a super visually stunning game on PC. First world streamer problems. It is very cool and looks good on PS5. Yeah, it is. I'm not trying to, I'm not being humble right now. That's for sure. My free game doesn't run on my top of the line PC. No, I get it. I'm just saying. These are the dumb shits that have gotten in the way, prevented me from playing the game. Since I can tell it's my game, or my kind of game. I want to play through it where the cutscenes work. Fuck. At a nice resolution, so the game looks as good as it can. Shit. How far back I am. If Steph has it, doesn't Sony just let you sign in and play since it's installed on that PS5? That is a potential option. I guess it would be a different PS5 because I was actually lucky enough to get a PS5 recently. So now I have one set up over here. That's the other thing, is that I would have to unplug and move the PS5 back and forth, but now I actually have one. I was able to buy one from Sony. Did the thing where I waited in line. It actually worked. Play the new Kirby? You know, I've been tempted to. It looks like a fun time. There you go. Okay. Shit. That was a tight. I've been trying to think of games to put together for a April 20th extravaganza stream. And I already have a solid list, I think, of games to celebrate the day. But Kirby, I think, is a pretty good match. It's cute, it's colorful, it has uplifting music.
The monitor showed me the way.
It's kind of all you need, right? That's the holy trinity of delighting a person who is high. Balan Wonderworld. Shit. Maybe I should.
The control room screens.
Maybe I should play
all
that.
but one. An elevator titled D6 on one of the screens. Somewhere onwards, past rows of ovens, in the core of the plant.
I'm like a weird industrial factory trying to take out this lady who drugged me. Your trip. You rope Steph into playing COD so we get COD cam on 420? That's a solid request. I would love for that to happen. I can ask. I had to take a break from the Chris Chan documentary I'm watching because my sanity is eroding. Woo. The tale of Chris Chan is a... That's an eye-opening one. It'll take it out of you. Yeah. Is Max Payne 3 underrated? Yes. Yeah. We've come to academic consensus that Max Payne 3 is an extremely underrated game. I was kind of talking about it, well, I was talking about it before, how when Max Payne 3 didn't sell and no one seemed to care, that was just like, Rockstar Games basically said, we're not doing that again. And I was like, that was the time when I realized that a game can be incredible, super well made, and just not work. Because it's just not the right kind of thing for the right kind of time. The way I guess I summarize it as like, it was when video games became a business. Take a break by watching, what is it? Leah? That game's gonna come out any day now. He had parallax scrolling down. He had those pixels. Looked great. I get to blow that. Which game's he talking about? Max Payne 3. Max Payne Trace. Max Payne goes to Brazil. You see, it's a reference. A reference to the fact that they spoke Spanish in that Portuguese. Yeah, Max Payne Tropical Vacation. Max Payne becomes an elementary school teacher. Trash Chase Podcast did an interview episode with the writer/editor of the Chris Chan documentary. I don't know about the person. I didn't know about the person until we watched that episode. Yeah. He's a spectacle. The story has probably the worst possible ending so far. Yeah, I felt bad. I felt really bad for a while because, like, once he had been discovered by the internet in, like, I want to say, like, 2004, most people kept their distance, but even still, it's like, I still felt bad for him. But it doesn't seem like he got the care he needed along the way. Put all these trip mines in the goddamn furnace. Okay, that kills me. Actually, I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back.
Now that I've gotten on the internet, I'd rather be on my computer.
I wonder if 90s internet dad, I wonder what he's up to. I have not played Tunic yet, Jungle Tech, and there's not a good reason for that. I will find a way to play that very soon. What Game Pass, isn't it? Whatever, it's worth the money. No one has said a single bad thing about it. It's one of those games. I'm excited to get into that. Good lord. Hate to say it, but internet dad might be dead. Whoa. That's a little... That really triggered the old existential dread. Because I guess I'm internet dead now. Damn. That means I'm not going to be around for Hyper Twitch. But he does live forever on the internet. That's good. That's a good take. Jeez, this place is gnarly. Sonic fans have eternal life. Kept forever young by Sonic. Diet of chili dogs. What is so? Hold on. It's Eunice P. Ogilvy Quintius Hedgehog, right? Ogilvy is one of his names. Lucius? Ogilvy Lucius Hedgehog. Q Hedgehog. Maybe there's a letter in there. Alright, I got it. Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ogilvy Maurice. Maurice. Down here, Maurice. You stop eating those chili dogs. You're gonna make yourself sick. You guys ever actually, like, when you were kids, did you ever eat something so much that you did make yourself sick? Because I don't think I ever got unfettered access to something. Or rather, I don't, like, I would overeat for sure, but I never got sick. My body always handled that like a champ. I wonder if, like, hardwire a kid to not overeat. Yeah, some parkour right there. The Twitch audience always loves a little parkour razzle-dazzle. It's something I've learned. What is this music? What's going on here? I love that when you're in the middle of a shoot dodge, you can't really die. There seem to be some nice rules about that. Rad camera framing. $6 all-you-can-eat shrimp. Oh, Dante, I guess you have triggered a memory. Because yes, I did go to like a Red Lobster during a shrimp fest or something, and I think I did eat so much shrimp that I felt ill. I joked about this before because I've lived through it. You know, you gotta write what you know. And yeah,
I had taken on the role of the mythic detective.
I didn't feel good. It felt like shrimp was coming out of my skin. Like I felt like I had shrimp oil coming out of me.
Following a path of clues to that final revelation, even if it would take me down to the cold, cavernous depths of a grave.
Grave. It did feel like I was sweating shrimp.
Men are still inside.
Do you have any idea why this is called Operation Deadeyes?
Straight up look like Matrix agents.
I think he's dead already.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. They can't help but mix a little mobster in there, can they?
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Evacuate the complex immediately.
Got company.
Repeat. The self-destruction
So good, we don't deserve this stupid game.
Proceed to the nearest exit.
Wooga.
I had seen the logo on the floor before. There was an old army bunker under the steel mill. I knew the military plaque on the floor. I had seen 1,000 variations of the insignia on crumbling brick walls everywhere in the city. The sword replaced by a syringe. Project Valhalla, V for Valkyr, V for Valhalla. All of a sudden it read like a crackpot conspiracy theory.
I'll never get KBBQ and just reek of beef after. I've never like gotten disgustingly
The self-destruction sequence has been
I've never gotten disgustingly raw on KBBQ. Although, like, the fact that it, like, cooks at your table kind of makes it feel, I think, more like it sticks to you when you leave, you know?
Abort! Abort! The locking position.
Oh, the smoke? Yeah. Go home and change after. Most of the places I go to have pretty nice fans and stuff, but I guess the last time I went, the wind was blowing it directly onto somebody else, so. But yeah, you can kind of carry the sheen with you for sure. It's like the last part of a Resident Evil game. This game's going there right now. This game actually does sort of have the plot progression of multiple Resident Evil games baked into one. How long did it take in Resident Evil before you were dealing with, like, the Illuminati?
The Valkyrie case. The door code was a mystery to me.
That's where it came from? Oh, okay.
The chemist had been using the workstation when he died. The half-life of the lab rat had ended online, his password blinking on the screen. 665, the neighbor of the beast.
Decontamination in progress. Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit immediately.
You do it from in here. The dueling awoogas. It's something else, isn't it? Imagine if every building has a self-destruct sequence, like you're going grocery shopping and then you hear this. Yeah. You have 30 seconds to reach minimum safe distance. Better drop your carrots.
Shut up.
You think he's gonna scream real funny? I feel especially bad executing the mentally deranged patients. That's pretty rough. Even for Max,
Attention all
a man on
personnel.
the edge.
The self-destruction sequence
Get me out of
here! Proceed to the nearest exit immediately.
Thanks. I thought I was gonna die in there for sure.
I need you to get me through the decontamination chamber airlock.
You're crazy! No way! The place is blowing up, for Christ's sakes!
Either that or back to the cell. Your choice.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Never got into the Max Payne series because I judged a book by its cover and thought they would be over-the-top cheesy from the name. But it really is cheesy as fuck. Oh yeah, yeah. It is every bit the game that it, like... It is almost... It's like parody.
We're dead! We're dead! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
2 is a little more self-serious. And then 3 is like... 3 is an interesting mix. 3 is I would say GTA is GTA 5. Pretty good indicator of... No, 3 is a little more self-serious than that.
Punch you through.
After this, you're
Interesting mix.
a free man.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been examined.
Yeah.
Proceed to the nearest exit.
Really fascinating series. 1 has just so much goofy charm. I love that it went for it. There's just like no restraint to it for being like a first game. Instead of trying to make something safe, they made something like goofy, personal, expressive, charismatic. And I love that shit. Is this mission actually timed? I doubt it, but maybe.
I was caught in the middle of the deadly web that was the Valkyrie case.
Turn into Half-Life? Yeah. Brr.
In the middle of the deadly web that was the Valkyrie case.
laser mines are certainly a Half-Life thing.
One of the lab terminals had the project logo on the screen.
I was kind of remarking that this is a solidly post-Half-Life game in the way that it has you flow through like realistic environments and has a narrative string together over the course of the levels. Like your experience in the game is a narrative flow through environments and set pieces, as opposed to being like a level with 100 demons in it and a red and a blue key and a red and a blue door.
Top secret. Project Valhalla. U.S. Army. Yggdrasil Network. Valhalla, the otherworldly place in Norse mythology where the bravest heroes spent their afterlife feasting and fighting forever, their wounds miraculously healed night after night. Valkyr, the maidens who chose the most courageous Viking warriors and carried them to Valhalla. 1991. The research objective is to create a chemical substance to enhance the stamina and morale of infantry troops. 1995. Results unsatisfactory. Project canceled.
Someone had decided to continue the sick experiment unauthorized.
Project compromised. Data leak. Fix the damage by any means necessary. Security clearance red. Authorized by the project lead. Field test. Double the dosage for all the remaining test subjects. Observe and record the subject's behavior in an urban setting.
The drop-off point was my old address in New Jersey. The file dated 3 years ago. Just when you thought you had reached the deepest depths of horror, it suddenly got worse.
Oh my god, Max.
How to turn off that small voice inside your head that started to whisper that you should be glad that now, if not before, your revenge was justifiable on any conceivable moral scale. That small voice proved, beyond any doubt, that I was damned.
Nice.
The dagger-heeled woman had come and gone a long time ago. There was nothing more for me here. The bunker's name was acting as a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So good. It was an army experiment to create super soldiers gone awry, now sold as a street drug by a pharmaceutical company that's evil. That shit is dope as hell. What a twist. Lost Verses. This was published by 3D Realms. I think by 2. They sold the rights to Rockstar pretty quickly. I think Rockstar might have published it on PlayStation. I read the Wikipedia article about it, or skimmed it at least. Clearly I didn't retain much. But shortly after the first game came out, like, it sold unexpectedly well for a nothing game from a nobody developer. So Rockstar bought the property, and then like Remedy developed a sequel for Rockstar. But the sequel didn't sell very well. The sequel sold about as well as the first game, from what I could research.
Destruction imminent. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 27, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14.
Oh. Blow yourself up. Is Remedy doing much today? You know, they were a little bit inactive for a couple years there, but yeah, they actually have a whole lot going on. They just released Control and a lot of DLC for it, but it's all really good stuff. They have several projects lined up. They just released, I'd mentioned this before, but they did two single player campaigns for Crossfire X. Those are pretty by the numbers. You know, it's a pretty like mid 2000s single player FPS style campaign, but those aren't bad. They're just an older style. They're worth playing, especially if you are nostalgic for Y2K shooters like Black. I brought that out before. Anyway, they have multiple projects announced now, though, which is really exciting. They're doing Alan Wake 2, a full sequel to Alan Wake that is full survival horror. They're doing a full sequel to Control, although they haven't given an update on that in a while. They said they were working on a full sequel a while ago. And then they're also making a remake, excuse me. Yeah, remake. They're doing a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2 as one game. So they have 3 AAA projects in production now, which is a lot. That's a lot. but I'm glad they have the work, and I'm glad that's at least 3 AAA level games from Remedy that I'll get to play in my lifetime. That's great. Making a multiplayer game with a Control universe? You might be confusing that with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk does have, I guess, multiplayer features or a multiplayer component that will be released in stages. Or at least that's the last we heard about it. But no, I don't think they ever said anything about Control multiplayer.
Jigsaw, and the final picture is you finishing that same puzzle. A mad, green-eyed killer standing behind you. An urban legend come true. The Project Valhalla test subjects had been the mad junkies who had murdered my loved ones. The rest was simple body count math. It all pointed to her. Ms. Valkyr. The factory went up in a fiery inferno behind me. All my leads were dead, turned to smoke and dust. I had lost my way. I hadn't slept in a million years.
Is this where he just like goes multiple days eating donuts and driving around? There's like a weird gap of time that is humorously described in the comic sequence. Gonna pick up Returnal? I actually already played Returnal. I played it a lot when it came out. I managed to finish it. But I'd like to check it out again. They've had some updates.
Death. I've been living on an endless supply of week-old donuts. They were fuel for this crazy furnace inside my head. I couldn't remember when I had last seen the sun. I was on a permanent graveyard shift. When the darkness fell, New York City became something else, any old Sinatra song notwithstanding. Bad things happened in the night, on the streets of that other city, Noir York City. I was in an all-night diner, downing cup after cup of coffee that tasted like engine oil, when a new message from BB got me back on the killer track.
What the hell happened at Roscoe Street? Maxie, I'm going out on a limb here. We need to talk this through, come up with a plan. 2:30 a.m., the Choir Communications Garage.
The more I thought about Alex's murder and the frame-up, the more it felt like an inside job. I should have seen it coming. BB had sold me out, and now he wanted to finish what he'd started. The garage was dead. BB showed up in his tailor-made suit, gold watch, and cufflinks to match, all way beyond a cop's pay.
Maxie.
Oozing suave charm, he was guilty as hell. What the hell does BB stand for anyway? Backstabbing bastard?
Come on, don't be like that. Have a cigar.
I don't smoke.
Maxie, you have no idea how big this is. It's huge. You have no idea.
I think I do. You're a bribe-taking bent cop who sold out his partner. Those mobsters in the subway were a dead giveaway. Hard to miss. Bet it was exactly like this with Alex. Up close and personal.
You can't win this one, Max.
No, but I can make damn sure none of you do either. BB turned out to be another cardboard cutout bad guy.
So awesome.
A bad cop on the take. A cowardly right-hand man fleeing from the scene, leaving his paid thugs to do his dirty work.
So good. Somehow it manages it. Like, there's always a smooth, could be said in air quotes, but there's always at least a transition. Yeah.
To do his dirty work.
The way it flows from like comic to game to comic.
Thugs to do his dirty work.
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 Thugs to do his dirty work. Thugs to do his dirty work.
Bullets are so slow. There, Jesus Christ. Thugs to do his dirty work. The dirty work. Oh, but dirty work. interactivity. See that car? You can jump on it. Imagine an Elder Scrolls game where you can jump on all the cars. What if Bethesda's just like, fuck it. The horse goes everywhere. It flies. You have a flying horse. Elder Scrolls 6, flying horse. You know what you want. You just want to do whatever, huh? You just want to fuck around? Fine. Think we like writing all this story? We don't. Jesus. That Starfield? God, you're right. They just made a flying horse and everyone is just everyone's creaming their pants. Starfield is literally a Skyrim mod. Found our next Inside Games episode. Discovered a disgusting truth about Bethesda's greed. Starfield is just Skyrim. Why? Because I thought about it. I thought about words, and now it's a video. Used to have a flying horse in Morrowind? I don't think so. More referring to the time-honored tradition of scraping your horse all over the side of a mountain. Skyrim in space is pretty sweet though. I am curious to see more about Starfield. I think everyone is. Is Starfield the new Cyberpunk? I think they've done a really good job not saying anything. I'm really proud of them. They don't have to, though. They have the liberty of just being quiet. I thought that was it for sure. Morrowind was wacky as all hell, but no flying horse. It was pretty wacky, wasn't it? It's weird. I think the intentional wackiness of Morrowind was kind of started to become the started to become the unintentional wackiness of like Oblivion and then Skyrim. It's like glitches, living in a weird world of quirky and very simple inhabitants where strange things happen and the game breaks in amusing ways. It was this way. Shit. Shit. Cool. Keep releasing podcasts on the Bethesda YouTube page about Starfall. Really? Or, wait. Starfield? That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. I'm kind of surprised that those aren't... I'm kind of surprised that those aren't more, mined for more headlines. I feel like if somebody read or somebody listened to one of the podcasts and just picked out a couple of quotes and created a headline about it, that would do pretty well. Maybe I have an idea. Why are people paying for Star Citizen? Don't they realize it's a scam? I think maybe the line between scam and collective delusion is a strange one. Shit. I think they're playing it. That's true. It's it does exist and can be played. There's still no... Okay, I'm curious about this one. The digital assets that people have bought, are those reflected in the game at all yet? Or is it's still just like a client that has some PvP features? I know that they've had a playable beta for a while. There's a game of sorts there, not complete by any stretch, but there is something. Okay. I got pretty bummed when they even abandoned the implication of a release date for Squadron 42. I like Wing Commander. I like flight sims that have goofy storylines, which, yes, I acknowledge. It's also ridiculous that I haven't finished Ace Combat, but I have time for that. Finish up Ace Combat 3 this week, hopefully. Anyway, why did I turn around again? I'm hopeful that that game will exist. It will be every bit the like 4K Wing Commander that I guess it's set up to be. That'd be cool. I'd like that. They get like Gary Oldman and Mark Hamill to do performances. Jeez. You know what though? I have to say this. Despite saying that, I haven't finished Star Wars Squadrons. Speaking of things named Squadron. What am I doing? Not playing Squadrons, that's for sure. Maybe podcast was an overstatement. The series of videos, currently 2, one that's just over a minute, and another that's 5 minutes 30. Oh, okay, so that's gonna be pretty surface level then. But hey, that's still a thing. What have we finished? Star Wars Jar Jar's Journey. I got through that one. Lit cigarette. Had a customer call about $500 eBay gift cards. Warned them about phone scams. They said their thanks. An hour later, the person called me back sobbing, saying they wished they had talked to me days ago because she just lost $2,000. The person hacked her best friend's Instagram account. She was convinced to buy gift cards. I was so sad for them. Ah, damn. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. It's just, I don't know. It is interesting to see that, like, the internet is hitting some people. They're just not quite ready for it, or no one taught them. No one taught them that the people lie on the internet.
Reports of a fire at the Punchinello Manor in Westchester. The manor is the home of Angelo Punchinello, the alleged head of the Punchinello crime family. The police are now saying, contrary to their earlier statements, that Max Payne is still alive and at large. He continues his vendetta against the Mafia, of which this last act of arson is attributed to.
I had no recollection of setting any fires, but I did remember the flames.
My brother's girlfriend picked up one of those scam calls claiming she was in trouble with the government and owed like thousands of dollars in taxes because she's gullible. She dropped $6,000 or something. Jeez. That's life. He was so upset. Yeah. I do a lot with $6,000. That's the worst feeling. The feeling of lost money, that sinking feeling. Ugh. shit. Ooh. Woo. Parking lot is better protected than the mansion. Yeah, that's an interesting development. Well, I guess a crooked cop is using the mob to try and get me killed. Yeah, you would think that the mansion would be a little better protected. Did he walk to the roof? I guess so. Well, wait, no. I guess I had a car. They talked about that in the cutscene. Who's this guy? Oh, he's got like a super cyber gun? I remember super cyber guns. Was it a shotgun? So you had a really old sweet couple come in and try to buy a few gift cards, a few $100s each. I asked them why. Is this for an over-the-phone ordeal? They said they got a call that their grandson was in prison. They need the bail money via gift cards. I told them it's a scam and to speak with their grandson. The old man came back to thank me because his grandson was at home. My poor wife would have been scammed out of their money. Wow. Nice job. I'm glad you caught that. You did a really nice thing. What's up, Captain? Did not think he was gonna get me. Oof. Yeah, we all knew Pop-Tart was first in line to get in heaven. Jeez, he didn't die? Wow. Alright. Shit! Woo! There we go. Alright, jackhammer. I remember this thing just vomiting bullets, but still somehow not quite killing things. Especially if they're like far away.
Come out wherever you are. You know, I really hate people who refuse to see the inevitable. Refuse to do the smart thing. No, I must do the right thing.
What the hell's that?
People who refuse to.
Does this game look good for its time?
Refuse to do the.
I think it does, but I have definitely installed a texture pack. So.
No, I must do the right thing.
Be aware of that.
People who refuse to see the inevitable.
Grenade!
Refuse to do the smart thing.
That pretty much happened to my great-grandmother. Someone asked her to wire them $900 to bail them out. She went to several stores to try and wire the money, but thankfully they all said no, and she eventually called us to check. Yeah, it's a bit strange that that's not the first impulse for...
I blame you. For a smart guy, you really can be stupid.
Those situations. Killed. There. So so sad.
The payphone started to ring.
He's meant to be a boss, yeah.
Yeah.
Max Payne?
Whatever does it for you.
This is Alfred Woden. I can give you the name of your enemy. Come to the Asgard building presently. We are expecting you.
It's a common enough problem that when they added Western Union services to Walgreens, we had to be told extensively about it. Huh. Pretty common scam then, huh?
I was waiting for me on the steps of the old building.
Mr. Payne, let's go inside. The others are anxious to begin.
The others?
Despite the general
misconception, it can happen to
this building actually predates the city hall.
Everybody gets, I firmly believe everybody gets scammed like at least once.
Here at the foot of the
you gotta kind of learn. Everybody's gotta get burned.
The old man played tour guide as he led me through a dark domed hall. The answers I was after loomed large ahead.
Mr. Payne, I would like to introduce you to my colleagues.
Oh, Daddy Weeds, thanks for the prime.
Circle.
You've been watching too much X-Files.
You have seen the files on Project Valhalla. We can fill the gaps, provide you with the information missing from those files. We were all involved in the early stages of the project during the Gulf War.
What's the catch?
We would very much like to blow this thing wide open, but our hands are tied. Her name is Nicole Horn. She was the key figure in Project
There's a slideshow set up.
When the funding was discontinued, she simply refused to quit. She knew exactly what she had in her hands. Nicole Horn is the president of Acer Corporation. She has more than half the city in her pocket. This must be kept under wraps. If you try to go public with this, we will deny any knowledge. We need you to take her out. Afterwards, we can protect you. Make all the charges go away.
That was the cue for the killer suits to kick in the doors and swarm inside. It was an impressive floor show, but I decided to leave early anyway. It was only a one-story fall.
Only a one-story fall. And boom, he's out the window. Oh, this fucking game. This level just starts. Yeah, go. I guess. They're not shooting at me anymore, which is nice because I don't know where to go. I do need to stop though. At some point. I need to stop now. I should probably stop now. Oh, the good news is though, I am going to be streaming tomorrow. I think I can get a stream in the morning. It's normally media share day, but I have something I'm doing in the afternoon. We got to kind of work around that scheduling wise. I might just not do that. We'll see. Yeah, at some point in a few hours. Need to do that invoice. Ah, that's true. I can wait till tomorrow. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. This game rocks, and I love that there are people out there who appreciate art. Everyone in this chat is an art appreciator. Appreciate a gamer with appetite. Tomorrow is Ace Combat 3. I think so. Yeah. Might be a little earlier than today's stream, but yes, I'm pretty sure that's what I put on the calendar. Back into it. I'm excited for that. I need to brush up on the story, but I was really liking where I was going. Anyway, yeah. Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere, the cyberpunk Ace Combat game. Did I miss the crying baby part, chat? You missed a crying baby part, but this is Max Payne. There are many. But yeah, again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for appreciating art. Thanks for gifting subs or cheering or just sitting through ads. If you did that, that's also cool. Thank you for that. And hopefully we can spend more time watching video games together in the future. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. And, oh, Shadow, thanks for the cheer. Oh, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your night or day or whatever. Great rest of your week. Until next time.